It's a high, deep drive into left field, and this ball is long gone. Safe, he got under the tag.
One hop the wall and it lands for a double.
Want to ride into deep left field, and this ball is gone. Falmouth is going to the Western Division Final.
Hello and welcome to the Crow's Nest here at beautiful Gov Fuller Field. After a rainout last night, the Doors are back in action tonight, taking on the Wareham Gatemen in an interdivisional matchup. West versus West, Doors versus Wareham. And before we get to that, let's take a look back at what happened the last couple of days. Falmouth officially clinched a playoff spot with their win over the Brewster Whitecaps a couple nights ago, and they're riding a 6-game win streak, so things couldn't be better in Commodore land.
Yeah, this team looks so great right now, and I think the number one reason is the pitching staff. If you look at the last 7 days, some of these stats are absolutely outstanding. Team ERA of 2.03 in the past week, opponent batting average of just 204, and 4 starters who went during this winning streak did not allow an earned run.
Just pretty incredible that they can do that, and multiple of those victories were only 2-run scores.
Yeah.
So it's definitely been competitive ball games, and they've been fun to watch. Pitching has been great. A couple new pitchers have showed up to the team. One of them, Brad Littleton, and our own Katie Florio got to catch up with Brad to see his insight on why this pitching staff has been so dominant and what he can offer to it. Katie. Thank you, Katie, and thank you, Brad. So now as we look towards the future, as this game's starting off another hot stretch of games for this team, because again, it's been rain the storyline of the summer so far. The Commodores lead the Cape in rainouts with 13. Rain has been breaking up the pace. That brings along with it good things and some bad things.
Yeah, I think the pro is that the team is well rested. They've had some times where they get a couple extra nights off to rest those arms, to get the guys who are in the lineup every night an extra bit of breathing room. But I think the con is that you look at the back end, they still got to make up all those games.
Right.
So it makes for a very jam-packed schedule. In the next little over a week, something like 10 days, they have to play 12 games. 2, maybe even 3 doubleheaders coming up for this team.
More games than days never looks pretty, but at the same time, like I said, this team has dealt with rainouts more than any other team on the Cape, and yet they still have the highest winning percentage. So they've been dealing with it just fine. And we'll look ahead towards tonight's game as they try to continue this winning streak from 6 into 7 ball games. It'll be Franco Aleman on the mound. You wouldn't want any other guy going up against Wareham than Aleman.
I mean, he still hasn't given up an earned run all summer. It's absolutely outstanding. He's only given up 3 runs, and they were all unearned against Brewster. He hasn't pitched against the Gatemen yet, so this is a team that's really good offensively, gets a lot of hits. Franco is a guy who gives up 5 or 6 base knocks a game. It's going to be about limiting those runners when they're on base.
This Wareham team did clinch a playoff spot themselves last night, so both of these teams are set up for the playoffs as of now. Just comes down to seeding. The Doors have already won the season series 4-0 over Wareham. They're trying to stay undefeated against their interdivisional rival. So that'll do it for the pregame show. For Katie Florio and David Korsnowski, I'm Daniel LaRose saying so long. We'll see you in just a couple minutes for first pitch at 6 p.m. Hello and welcome into the press box here at Gov Fuller Field. Daniel LaRose, David Korsnowski by my side. The Falmouth Commodores ready to get back in action here at the Gov after a tornado rolled through Cape Cod yesterday. Canceled just about every single game on the Cape, except for the one that was off the Cape. Yep. Wareham and Yarmouth Dennis played out in Hartford, Connecticut at the Yard Goats ballpark. They got their game in. Everyone else canceled. We're back in action today between these two red-hot teams.
Yeah, these teams are riding high, and that weather was crazy. I remember when we were at the Brewster game a couple nights ago, you were looking at the radar, and you said, the storm of the century is coming. And I kind of laughed it off. I was like, oh, yeah, sure thing. This was literally historic weather on Cape Cod. There were torrential downpours, wind, lightning, and literally a tornado touchdown on Route 28 in South Yarmouth. Hopefully everyone's all right. We know the field suffered a little bit of damage, but you can't tell the way it's looking today as the sun came out, and it's a great day for baseball.
Left field fence was completely broken. It was like completely set down, but they propped it back up. Out in Chatham, still believe that their ballpark does not have any power, and they took a lot of damage to their batting cages. Harwich, 93% of Harwich residents were without power last night. Falmouth got away lucky despite not playing that ball game. But again, we are back in action today as you see the Commodores taking the field, and they'll be led by Franco Aleman, who was one of the 2 all-star pitchers the Doors had, and for very good reason.
0 ERA, 2-0 record in 4 starts, 18 strikeouts in 23 innings of work. The one stat that stands out to me, and there are a lot that are impressive with Franco, just 2 walks. This is a guy who pounds the strike zone, does not shoot himself in the foot, does not give free passes, and makes the offense beat him. So far, no one's been able to.
So Franco warming up to his battery mate Matt Nelson as we'll run through the defensive alignment for these Falmouth Commodores. It's Aleman to Nelson, outfield from left to right, Austin Maisel in left, playing center field Blake Dunn, right field Zach DeLoach. The infield sporting Steven Moretto at third, Trey Cruz at short, over at second Hayden Cantrell, and first base Austin Langworthy. Only a couple of times he's been there this summer, but he is back at the first base position. And meanwhile, the Wareham lineup on the other side of things as we run through it. Braden Ward will lead off. He's followed by Matt McLean and Jacob Teeter. Dallas Beaver is batting cleanup and DHing. Then Zach Mathis, who will be making his Cape League debut, batting 5th. Benjamin Sems batting 6th. Matt Rudick batting 7th, followed by Chad Stevens, and finally Drew Sims in the 9-hole. This Wareham team who just clinched a playoff spot yesterday with their victory over the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox out in Hartford. That was a day game at that minor league ballpark. Meanwhile, the Commodores clinched officially a playoff spot a couple nights ago against Brewster. They won 4-1. Wareham won 3-2. So both teams on some win streaks. Wareham 2 in a row. Falmouth 6 in a row, looking to make it 7 against their division rival. Gatemen were tops in the Western Division just a couple days ago when these two teams faced off 3 times in a single week. Falmouth won every single matchup and overtook first place with the best winning percentage on the Cape despite the least games played. First pitch coming in from Aleman to Ward is a bunt laid down at the first base side. Franco gets off the hill. He throws over to first, and it's not in time. First pitch of the ball game is a bunt single in favor of Ward.
Jerry Weinstein knows the scouting report on Aleman. He's a guy who throws a lot of strikes. Braden Ward, a guy who gets on base quite a bit with a .301 batting average. And Aleman got there in a good amount of time. The throw was just a little bit late and high to Langworthy.
Braden Ward with plenty of speed himself. He's a guy who has 20 stolen bases on the summer, and he showed that 90-foot speed flying down the first base line. Ward taking a huge lead off of first. He's going to be checked on by Aleman. Boy, that 5'10" frame barely able to get back in time despite knowing that pickoff was coming.
Right now, Wareham looks like a team with a chip on their shoulder. They've played 3 games against the Commodores last week and lost all 3. All of them really close. Jerry Weinstein already pulling out all the stops. We know he's done it before, but I mean, we've had 1 pitch so far in this game, and you can already feel it from Wareham.
McLean will be the hitter, right-handed bat, playing left field for the Gatemen. So Aleman already from the stretch, and Ward shows run, but then he pulls it back. Ball number 1 taken outside to McLean, sporting a .313 batting average on the summer, a couple home runs, and 19 RBIs for a man who hits second in this lineup.
West Division MVP in the All-Star game as well. He had a great night on Sunday out at Eldridge Park in Orleans.
1-0 misses up and away again as Nelson is ready to pop towards second.
Yeah, and I think right now McLean and Ward are doing a good job getting in Franco's head early because he's thinking about Ward on first base. This is a guy who does not fall behind in counts. Nelson clearly thinking the same way. giving McLean a hitter's count.
Here's the pitch. That one graces the outside corner as McLean now stares at a 2-ball, 1-strike count after the 89-mile-an-hour heater. Our scoreboard's back up and running at Gov Fuller Field as well. Last time we were here was, Saturday, and it randomly went out mid-game.
Yeah, it was about the 7th inning against Orleans.
Didn't help that it rained a ton yesterday. Pickoff move is a lot closer this time. Ward looked like he was jonesing towards second, but gets back just in time.
Yeah, he definitely was. His hips moved a little bit to his right. Looked like he was going to dash towards second base. Probably would have if Aleman was delivering to the plate, but somehow able to get back in time.
Still taking that big lead. Again, Aleman's going to check over on him.
It's reminding me of what we see from Hayden Cantrell.
Yeah.
When the pitcher, the catcher, the first baseman all know that he's going, you check on him a handful of times, you can't get him there. Cantrell usually swipes second successfully. We'll see if Ward does the same.
Here's the pitch. Breaking ball over the inside part of the plate for a strike. Risky pitch from Franco with Ward looking like he was going to be stealing. A couple of pickoffs over towards him and then responds with an off-speed pitch which would all have guaranteed a stolen base for Ward. Instead it falls in for a strike. McLean now facing a 2-2 count. Matt, a 5'9" outfielder from UCLA. Another pickoff move, nothing. Franco Aleman, a 6'6" pitcher, originally from FIU, transferring to St. John's River State College and then off to the University of Florida for his junior year come 2021. The 2-2 runner is going, swung on and missed, throw down to second base, tails a little bit off towards the right and rolls into center. Dunn's going to back it up, but Ward is going to be in at third base as now he's going to not stretch it for home. Took a hard turn around as Blake overran the baseball, but he thought better of it. He does take third base thanks to the errant throw, and there is one out after the K.
Number 22, Jacob Teeter.
That's just heads-up base running from the gateman. One of the more errant throws we've seen from Nelson. He's usually pinpoint going down to second base, but it was leaking to the right of Cantrell into center field, and Dunn couldn't grab that ball when he first tried to pick it up in center. And Ward almost dashed home. Thought better of it.
So a stolen base and an E2 after the poor throw from Matt Nelson. First pitch swinging is Jacob Teeter as he ropes one into right center field for a hit. There it is, Franco Aleman's first earned run of the summer. I do believe, because even though he got to third base on the error, that was a single after he got on base with a hit himself. 1-0 the score in favor of Wareham after Teeter's RBI.
Teeter leading the Wareham Gatemen in batting, in RBIs, now up to 23 after that RBI single. And we've seen Aleman give up some earned runs before, but they were on much bleaker days than this. Against Hyannis on June 20th, he gave up one earned run. Gave up a couple against Bourne in a game that also got rained out, as did the Hyannis one.
So you can pretty much guarantee that all of a sudden there are going to be storm clouds rolling through Falmouth. First pitch, a strike to Dallas Beaver. Beaver, the big lefty cleanup man from UCF, but he will be transferring. Watches that pitch miss just a little high.
Yeah, he'll be at South Carolina next year with Carmen Majinski.
Aleman looks back, Teeter at first base. Here's the 1-1. Line drive back up the middle for another base hit. Franco frustrated with himself as he has now allowed 3 singles in only 1 inning of work.
And this is by far the toughest matchup that he's had this summer. We talked about it a little in the pregame show, but he's going up against a team that hits a lot of singles. Aleman, not a guy who gives up the long bomb. He doesn't give up doubles. He does get those base knocks tabbed against him every now and then. Wareham coming out in the first inning, continuing that trend against a red-hot pitcher, but they might be his kryptonite.
We've seen him get hit around a lot, but then always seems to buckle down the most when he's in jams. First pitch to the lefty, Zach Mathis, is taken a little bit high. Mathis making his first appearance, and this will be his first at-bat of the summer. Recent acquisition for Wareham. The Stockton, California native off to Louisiana State next year after playing some JUCO ball at Delta State College. 1-0, slow grounder over towards short. This is going to be a tough play. The running throw just in time. How about that from Trey Cruz? Impressive on the left side of the diamond on what was a little cue shot, and nearly gets the runner at first.
Trey Cruz was playing close to that second base bag, trying to turn the double play. Had to move way over to his right on a dribbler that just got to the dirt. And he had to really get that thing to his right hand quickly. A nice throw onto Langworthy in a good stretch. Barely beat out Mathis.
So now runners on second and third base with 2 outs. So you can safely assume that they'll score on any hit, but any out will mean the end of the inning and only 1 run across, as Aleman has had to work hard. First pitch, swung on, lifted over towards foul territory on the third base side. Moretto tracking it, and he will make the grab right near that Wareham bullpen. Only takes Franco Aleman 13 pitches to get out of that first inning jam, but he does allow 1 run on 3 hits, 1 error, and 2 runners left on base. To the bottom of the first we go, already 1-0 in favor of Wareham.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Please remember to recycle your empty bottles, cans, and all other recyclable materials. It takes only 6 recycled plastic bottles to make a new baseball cap. Cape Cod.
For sales and rentals of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit MiltonCat.com, your area cat dealer. Milton Cat, the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud to be a sponsor of today's game.
The Colossal Lobster Rolls are back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth for the best value for lobster rolls on the Cape. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Urgent Care is now available at 4 Cape Cod Healthcare locations: Hyannis, Falmouth, Sandwich, and Harwich. Open after hours and weekends. Staffed by ER physicians, expert care when you need it. Learn more at capecodhealth.org/urgentcare.
Welcome back to the Gov. 1-0 in favor of the Gatemen as we're just about to get underway with the bottom of the first inning. This bottom of the first will be led off by Hayden Cantrell as we bring the lineup onto your screen right now. Cantrell, the Ragin' Cajun from Louisiana Lafayette and perennial leadoff man, will be doing just the same in this ball game. Looking through this lineup, we're seeing a much different 5 through 9. A couple of struggling bats in there, most notably Austin Langworthy, Steven Moretto, Matt Nelson batting 6, 7, and 8, but we don't really see this combination of bats too often.
Yeah, Moretto is a guy who's actually played a lot less since the beginning of the year. He was playing pretty much every night in late June. But then Trey Cruz, because they have him, Cantrell, and Kendall, 3 guys that they want in the batting order, Cruz has moved over to third base and gotten a handful of starts there. Moretto's back in.
First pitch to the switch hitter, batting righty Cantrell, is taken low for a ball. Meanwhile, the Wareham starter, who we have talked very little about just because we really beat to death that Franco Aleman point that has been immediately erased. Levi Prater, the junior from the University of Oklahoma, his last time out was against these doors.
3 innings of work in a 5-2 loss. That was game 1 of the doubleheader. But he was really great. Came in relief, didn't give up any hits, walked just 1, struck out 2. This is just his 3rd start of the summer, so he's either used in middle relief or for a short start.
3-0 misses up and in, already a 4-pitch walk. That is his 8th walk of the summer, and it is Cantrell reaching first thanks to it.
Cantrell drew 3 walks his last time out against the Brewster Whitecaps on Monday. And I recently followed Wareham's manager on Twitter, Jerry Weinstein, and his pinned tweet The tweet that is literally at the top of his profile is, the statistical validation for first pitch strikes is irrefutable, ... 92.7% of first pitch strikes lead to an out or strike one. So he's a guy who preaches to his pitching staff, first pitch strike. And Prater could not find the strike zone at all against Cantrell.
He does find the strike zone to Blake Dunn, who lays a bunt foul. I want to have like a camera on Weinstein and see if there's a little reaction every time he sees a first pitch ball, whether there's a wince or something.
Right.
But Prater has been pretty excellent all summer long. We talked about him the last time he pitched when these two teams were out in Wareham, that he was probably an all-star snub, a sub-1 ERA at .61. But he was not featured in the all-star game. Only has 14.2 innings pitched, which is kind of a lot for the Cape.
Yeah, I think it was that innings that kind of held him out of the all-star game.
Ball skips low, but Cantrell is going to hold up. Nice block behind home plate by Drew Sims. It's Sims, the battery mate to Levi Prater. Outfield for Wareham features McLean in left, Ward in center, Rudick in right. Here's the 1-1. Misses high. And then infield, Chad Stevens at third, Sims at short, Mathis at second, and Jacob Teeter playing first. Both these teams neck and neck with one another in a hotly contested West Division.
This will be fun to see how it shakes out. Right now, Falmouth and Wareham both with 39 points. Wareham's played 3 more games, though. Katuitt just 1 point behind at 17, 14, and 1. That's 38 points.
Big swing and a miss from Dunn on an 87-mile-an-hour heater.
But talking to some of the guys on the team and some of the coaches, you just got to get into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because from there, it's kind of a crapshoot. Last year, we saw Yarmouth Dennis, the best team in the regular season, in either division, lose in the first round to Brewster.
2-2 will have to wait. We can pretty much guarantee that it'll be Bourne coming into 4th place unless Katuitt falls apart, Bourne comes on, or a miracle occurs and Hyannis with their 7 wins and 15 points bursts onto the scene and takes 4th. So it'll be Bourne most likely facing off against the top team in the West in the first round, which will be probably one of these 2 teams unless Katuitt, like I said, comes on.
Yeah, you got to keep an eye on Bourne, though, because they have, I think, the most Team USA guys out of any team on the Cape. Guys like Alika Williams, who'll be coming back.
3-2 count. And Prater's going to step off the mound as he's only 1 pitch away from potentially walking the first 2 batters of the ballgame for Falmouth. Blake a couple nights ago went 1 for 3 against Brewster, had a single his first time up. Also walked and scored. Dunn a batting average just over 240. No home runs, only 10 RBIs. He's been pretty much always at that 2-hole. Prater's 3-2. Swung on and missed. Throw down to second base is airmailed into center field. Cantrell's going to try to take third, and Ward is going to eat it. Hayden Cantrell takes third base. Out is the call on Blake Dunn after he swung and missed the 3-2.
So similar story, right? We saw Braden Ward reach first base and then go over to third base on a Matt McLean strikeout. Cantrell moves 90 feet away on a Blake Dunn strikeout.
And they're calling Hayden Cantrell out.
So I saw that signal from the third base ump, but I didn't know what the call was.
I saw Hayden settle at third base. It's going to be batter's interference against Blake Dunn. He started walking towards the dugout before the throw was able to be made. So Sims able to argue that Dunn interrupted his path to throwing it as DeLoach lays down a bunt right in front of home plate, and he will be thrown out at first. So Levi Prater walks one, nearly lets a man get to third base, but instead he will end up facing the minimum, allowing no runs on no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. So all of that wackiness, a strikeout, batter's interference, and then a bunt that is thrown out against Zach DeLoach. That'll do it for the first inning, and we'll head top 2, 1-0 on the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network.
The Falmouth Commodores would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official bat and glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team bat and gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedom. In support of this program, the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. Support our troops and join us by wearing red each Friday.
To the top of the second, Wareham leading Falmouth 1-0. Daniel LaRose joined alongside David Korsanowski here at Gov Fuller Field in Falmouth, Massachusetts. David, with all we've said about the weather recently, this is an absolutely gorgeous day. The heat wave has broken and there's not a cloud in the sky. First pitch to Matt Rudick, again swung on, flared out towards left field. That will be called on by Maisel and caught. A lot of first pitch swings from Wareham and a lot of outs.
I like what Wareham's doing. They're swinging at the first pitch because they know that Aleman throws strikes. It's something we see Falmouth do when they're really successful offensively is swing the bat early and kind of get everyone going. Wareham already a team that strings together a lot of hits in a row. They did the same thing in the first inning. Aleman lucky to get out of there with just one run tabbed against him.
He allowed that one run on 3 hits, including an error from his catcher Nelson, who does not commit a lot of errors. First pitch to Chad Stevens. He does lay off. It's a breaking ball on the outside corner for strike 1.
Yeah, that was Nelson's first error of the summer.
First error for Nelson, first earned run for Aleman. Another slider somewhere, somehow clips the outside edge of the plate.
It's got some good movement, and you can see Aleman trying to get into his groove here in the second inning. When he had that first base runner with Ward put on, he looked a little frazzled.
The 0-2 to Stevens, tapped over towards short. There's Trey Cruz as he makes the easy play onto first. 6-3 put out for the second out of the inning.
This is the Aleman we're used to seeing. Balls put in play. For the most part, easy plays for his infielders. I think that bunt was a great call by Jerry Weinstein to start off the game because that just set the tone and it gave Wareham really a run. Didn't let Aleman get into that groove that he's trying to establish now.
He's only thrown 4 pitches and gotten 2 outs in the second. Another swing on the first pitch, this time by Drew Sims, ends up a foul ball. Drew Sims, the catcher from Utah Valley, originally from California. Named to the Johnny Bench Award watch list back when he was a freshman. That's for the best catcher in the nation. 0-1, too far inside.
Only 3 hits this summer, though. It's been a long summer for Sims. Played earlier in the summer on June 12th, was released, then re-added.
Franco's 1-1, check swing, but it's called a strike anyway. That's John Jordan behind home plate. First time we've seen him, I think.
I believe so.
First base is John Petula. Third base is Jason Klump.
Triple J, baby.
Here's the 1-2. Slider too far outside. Franco started walking off the mound. I don't know if he thought that was a strike.
No, I don't think he did. I think that he thought that Sims went around, but he did a good job holding up. He learned from that second strike where he went too far around. Slider was way outside.
2-2. Fastball bounced right on the plate. Count will remain the same. Sims went 0 for 2, scored a run, struck out, was hit by a pitch. In the last game he played, that was against Falmouth. He's got 3 strikeouts on the summer and only 11 registered at bats. Aleman trying to make it 4. The 2-2. Ground ball foul again, so at the very least, Sims is making a battle of it.
We know that's something this team does really well. They do not go down strikeout victims. League low in strikeouts.
2-2 yet again. That time it swung on and missed. The second strikeout of the game worked by Franco Aleman as he works a perfect 1-2-3 inning in the second. To the bottom half of inning number 2 we go. 1-0 in favor of Wareham.
The Colossal Lobster Rolls are back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth for the best value for lobster rolls on the Cape. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
Baseball Factory, which has proudly supported the Cape League for 20-plus seasons, conducts baseball trainings, tournaments, and showcases at over 1,000 events nationwide, providing players with world-class instruction and help with college recruiting. The Baseball Factory program leads to future success both on and off the field for players in both middle school and high school. It's never too early to start. Learn more at baseballfactory.com.
Home second, led off by Trey Cruz, followed by Taylor Smith, then Austin Langworthy after the Commodores went down in a quasi 1-2-3 inning in the first. And maybe the strangest of those that we've seen all summer, thanks to a batter's interference call against Blake Dunn. We've got to go back into that play and dissect it a little more.
If I can figure out what the heck happened. I mean, Cantrell reached on a walk, and then Blake Dunn worked a really good at-bat, strikeout swinging, and then Cantrell, as he was sliding into second base, was called out by the third base umpire in Jason Klump. He was immediate on the call, and we noticed something, too, with some of the Wareham fielders. They knew that Cantrell was out.
Trey Cruz, a switch hitter batting righty, smashes one into right center field. This ball is falling fast, but Braden Ward will catch up to it. What a play by Ward. That's a lot harder than it looks, and he's got plenty of speed to track down that one for the first out of the second.
That is unbelievable range from the center fielder, Ward. That was one of the first times. Usually when I see those fly balls, I follow the ball. I was watching Ward the whole way there.
Yeah.
And I kept thinking, there's no way he can get to this ball. It hung up a little bit, but that was all the speed by the center fielder. And he made the catch on the run at about his waist. If he was a second slower, that would have dropped for probably a double.
First pitch runs too far inside to Taylor Smith. Looked like a breaking ball that just had too much hook, and Smith will wear it off the foot and go take first base. So just like the first, the second as eventful. 2 pitches, already a fly out on a spectacular play, and then a hit by pitch. Austin Langworthy will come up to the plate, 1 out and a runner on. Langworthy been struggling this summer, a 163 batting average for the Florida Gator, a rising senior down there in Gainesville. Prater's first pitch again swung at and fouled away. Langworthy has seen a lot more sparing play time this summer.
Yeah.
He's pretty much an everyday starter last year for the Commodores, his second year as a Door, this his third.
Well, the question we keep asking is, if he's going to heat up and when. But Langworthy's, he's running out of time to do so. This is game number 33, only 11 left after this. He had 7 home runs last year, still hasn't gone yard yet.
0-2. Fastball inside and on the hands that he pulls back from. Yeah, still hasn't gone yard, like you mentioned, and only has 2 RBIs. One of those RBIs coming the very first game of the summer. 1-2, swung on and missed, strike 3. That is strikeout number 17 for Austin Langworthy this summer, and he's the second out of the second inning.
And this is a big strikeout victim, too, in Steven Moretto. He's got 23. That's tied for 4th on the team.
5 of those coming in his last 9 at-bats. A stretch where he's gone 1 for his last 12. First pitch to Moretto, launched into right field, but that one is shallow. Ranging over, settling underneath it is Matt Rudick, and that will retire the side. Not a lot of pitches thrown by Prater in this inning, as a runner does reach thanks to a hit by pitch, but that's it. Falmouth scores no runs on no hits, no errors, and strand a runner on. To the top of the third we go, 1-0.
The Colossal Lobster Rolls are back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth for the best value for lobster rolls on the Cape. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod Coca-Cola has been proudly refreshing the community for 30-plus years, and we're honored to support the CCBL and many other wonderful organizations on the Cape. Cape Cod Healthcare is the leading provider of healthcare services for residents and visitors of Cape Cod, with 2 acute hospitals and more than 450 physicians. For more information, please visit capecodhealth.org. Cape Cod Healthcare, expert physicians, quality hospitals, superior care. For sales and rentals of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit MiltonCat.com, your area cat dealer. Milton Cat, the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud to be a sponsor of today's game.
On to the third inning. It'll be the top of the lineup for Wareham. Braden Ward, Matt McLean, and Jacob Teeter, who were 2 of the 3 men who did the damage in the first. It was Ward who got on with a single, and Teeter who knocked him home a couple batters later.
I like what I'm seeing from Wareham so far. Bottom of the order struggling a little bit more as Aleman retired the last 5. But Ward, McLean, and Teeter, maybe the best top of the order on the Cape. Also something we haven't talked about yet, recently released Darren Baker,
right,
who led the team in batting average, was just a hits machine. Son of Dusty Baker, who we interviewed, Katie Florio interviewed on our social media. Check that out if you haven't already. But that's a big loss for this team, and they really need guys like Ward, McLean, and Teeter to be that much better.
Ward bounces one up the first base side. That one as effective as a bunt. Aleman couldn't scoop it up cleanly. It is ruled an E1, and Braden Ward will be on first base yet again. Would have been a tough play regardless because, I mean, Braden Ward, I want to see his 40 time. It's got to be akin to Saquon Barkley. The guy getting a bunt hit, tracking down the fly ball in center, and then making that such a tough play for Aleman that he couldn't even see it into his glove.
He's just pesky, and to have leadoff guys like that is so valuable because he gets on first base one way or another.
Here's a bunt up the third base line that rolls foul. And boy, is Jerry Weinstein and the Wareham Gatemen just throwing wrenches and screwdrivers into the game plan of Aleman.
And it's really just been those 3-4 batters. It's been the top of the order, but that's enough, especially when Prater is being as locked down as he is. Aleman's going to be that much better.
0-1 the count to McLean, who struck out swinging in his first AB. He watches a fastball miss up and in. Matt McLean, 2 for his last 12 now after that latest strikeout. One will have to wait with a check over onto first. Braden Ward, like you said, very pesky. Has gotten on base multiple times now without ever hitting the ball out of the infield, without ever hitting the ball past the infield grass even. 1-1. Slider just off the plate.
It's a good pitch. He was trying to get McLean to swing at it. Likely would have gone to either Cruz or Cantrell at the middle infield. Tough to turn a double play against these two guys. But we know that the Doors, especially their middle infield, some of the best on the Cape.
It's that Cantrell-Cruz combination. Best friends off the field and look like it on the field. Runner is going. No, he's not. Matt Nelson catches the pitch well outside, and Braden Ward quickly scrambled back to first base after Nelson pump faked.
And that's something that Ward does really well, too, is it looks like he's going every pitch. He dashes as his secondary lead.
Count now 3-1 to McLean, so a friendly hitter's count. And the runner is going this time. It's a fastball throw down from the knees of Nelson, is too far away from second as Trey Cruz had to retrieve it. The second stolen base now for Braden Ward in both of his chances on the base paths.
Everyone in the park knows he's going, and he takes it anyways. Nelson has to rush that throw a little bit more because Ward's one of the fastest guys on the Cape. That's why his throws haven't been as accurate, because he can't afford to take the time to pinpoint it.
Another big lead off a second. Here's the 3-2. Ground ball at Cruz. Ward has looked back into the bag. Throw on to first. Good scoop out of the dirt by Austin Langworthy. Gets the runner and keeps the other runner, Ward, at second.
It's a great scoop by Langworthy, a guy who does not play first base too much. He's looking like he plays there every night on that scoop. Again, he makes it look a lot easier than it is. It skips right in front of his glove. And sometimes those can hop high, those can bounce low. But he kept his glove and he looked it into it.
Also impressive is the stretch he had to make, too,
Yep.
while making the scoop. He's listed at 5'10", and he doesn't have the longest of legs. Aleman's going to try to pick off Ward, and he was going, so he's caught in a rundown. It's Moretto now to Cruz. Cruz is going to try to track him down. He's going to go to Aleman. Franco chasing down Ward. This is entertaining. Ward running back towards third. Now he's going to slide back into the bag and finally be tagged out on the Cantrell-Cruz connection. And Franco, passionate about that one, getting the big out.
What a play for out number 2. Aleman looked a little awkward when he was throwing over to third base, but he did a good job, and Ward got a little too greedy on the base paths.
It was just a pickoff move over to second. He saw Ward flying halfway down the line, and then he was just able to step off and let the team execute a perfect rundown scenario. And boy, was that one entertaining, like I said, a pickle like you would see out of Sandlot. First pitch to Jacob Teeter, down and in, now with 2 outs and the bases cleared.
Could be wrong. I think I tracked it. 1-5-6-1-4-6. I believe.
A lot of passes along the way.
4-5. So close. Just one number off.
I'm not writing that down on my scorecard. I don't have enough room in the little box. They give about a half an inch space to write things down. Here's the 2-0 to Teeter. Down and in yet again. So after Aleman got the big out at third base, Jacob Teeter gets ahead 3 balls and no strikes.
It is better now that the base paths are clear. Got the runner out of scoring position. Teeter with a single likely would have scored Ward with that speed.
3-0, he gets the green light. He loops one out into left field, and Austin Maisel not with enough speed to catch up to that one as it lands among the fans. So Jerry Weinstein allowing his hitters to lay down bunts at will, allowing pretty much to steal at will, and giving them the green light on 3 balls and no strikes. Pretty much giving them every offensive liberty they want. Teeter 1 for 1 with that RBI single that he struck back in the first inning, has advanced his hitting streak onto 7 games. The 3-1 from Franco, absolutely ripped past Langworthy at first. That one rolls into right field, the second hit for Teeter.
He's so good, an all-star for a reason. Just hits the ball hard, and it gets out of the infield in such a hurry. Langworthy looked like he was there, playing pretty far off the bag. But it's a lot tougher to stop a line drive off the bat of Teeter.
Yeah, probably had a pretty intense exit velocity because that was out of the infield in a hurry. Dallas Beaver also singled his first time up, but he was stranded on second, and Teeter was stranded on third to end that first inning. This time, Beaver will try to execute that yet again. Guy who was 2 for 10 versus the Commodores this year entering this ball game.
That's Teeter's first multi-hit game in 10 days. He's riding a 6-game hitting streak.
First pitch to Beaver, a breaking ball cut on and missed. Teeter was the one who put the Gatemen ahead 1-0. Meanwhile, Levi Prater, their starter, has yet to allow a hit. Franco Aleman has given up 4 already. 0-1. 3/4 swing. He did go around, says John Jordan. That is correct. 0-2.
Right now, Aleman absolutely owning this at-bat. Went first pitch, changeup. Beaver was thinking fastball. He's way ahead of it. And then the three-quarter swing, Aleman just making him look foolish.
The 0-2 offering misses high. Went with a 91-mile-an-hour fastball above the letters, a strikeout pitch that Franco loves to go to. His very effective slider, less effective when you're throwing to lefties. It'll break over the middle part of the plate. Here's the pitch. Crushed into right field, but that one will hang up long enough for Zach DeLoach to make the grab on a line. Wareham scores no runs on one hit, no errors, and they strand their runner on one error, and they strand a runner on first base. We'll head to the bottom of the third inning. It's 1-0 in favor of the Gatemen on the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network.
Yeah.
The Falmouth Commodores would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and software development. Online at www.curry.edu.
For sales and rentals of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit MiltonCat.com, your area cat dealer. Milton Cat, the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud to be a sponsor of today's game.
Bottom three, 8-9-1 for the Falmouth Commodores. Matt Nelson, Austin Maisel, Hayden Cantrell, and they've got some room to make up. Luckily for them, Levi Prater has already been yanked from the game. We've seen this a lot from Jerry Weinstein. He likes to throw a whole arsenal of pitchers, and despite Prater not allowing a hit and only allowing 2 base runners and 2 innings of work, he will be pulled from this ball game.
It is something he likes to do a lot, and he throws his best arms against Falmouth. He really does. Brandon Fott has been another very solid reliever for the Gatemen. 3.42 ERA, a 2-1 record. This is his 8th appearance, 23 2/3 innings of work. That's a lot for a guy who's primarily a reliever. He has made 2 starts, 25 Ks and 8 walks.
First pitch to Matt Nelson, taken just outside for ball 1. This is a strategy that did burn the Gatemen last week when we saw these teams play each other, because his starters seemed to be shoving, and then when he brought in the relievers, all things kind of changed.
It happened twice. It was in game number 1 when he brought in the all-star reliever in Trent Palmer, who then gave up the Gatemen lead, and then fought game 1 of the doubleheader.
1-1 skied on the infield over towards the left side. This one way up in the air, and Chad Stevens is tracking it and finally comes down with it right along the third base line.
Yeah, Fott pitched 2 innings of work against Falmouth. Gave up the 2-run home run to Trey Cruz, 5 hits, no walks, and 3 strikeouts. He goes to Bellarmine University.
That's a D2 in the Great Lakes Valley Conference. First pitch swinging is Austin Maisel as he comes up empty on the 85-mile-an-hour pitch. Maisel watches that one low. A ball and a strike to Austin. Holy Cross Crusader batting .382 on the summer.
He's been really good. Back up to the team lead in batting average.
1-1 high fastball swung on and missed. Nearly lost the helmet as well.
Hits in back-to-back games for Maisel. He's 3 for his last 5 with a double against Wareham. That was game 2 of the doubleheader last Friday.
He went 2 for 3 in that ball game. 1-2. Grounded over towards first, takes a high hop, but stays up and playable for Jacob Teeters. He steps on the bag himself for the second out.
First time through the order, I mean, Wareham pitching has looked great. No hits allowed.
Hayden Cantrell is going to come up to the plate now with nobody on and 2 away. Cantrell reached on a walk his first time up at the plate. Only took 4 pitches for him to get on. Here's the first pitch he sees from Fott. It's a fastball taken down Broadway. Strike number 1. Cantrell batting .310 with an even 100 at bats. 31 for 100. Taps the 0-1 over towards second base. This will be an easy play for Mathis. The 4-3 putout will retire the side. That will do it in this half inning as the Falmouth Commodores go down 1-2-3. Wareham still looking very sharp as of right now, David.
They've been outstanding. I mean, only 1 base runner for the Commodores their first time through the order. It was Hayden Cantrell with a leadoff walk. Prater looked a little bit shaky, but after that, locked down.
So far, no hits for the Commodores. Meanwhile, 4 hits for the Gatemen, and it's right around the 3rd inning.
Oh, yeah.
That's about time to bring in the 3rd member of our broadcast crew, Katie Florio. Katie.
Thanks, guys. And we have been used to rainouts all season long, but the weather that we've seen these past 2 days has been unlike anything we've seen this summer. There's been very severe thunderstorms and even tornado warnings. One actually touched down Cape and tore a roof off of a hotel. Our field suffered damage as well. The entire outfield fence was torn down, but luckily people in the town of Falmouth came out and they did repair that today. Luckily today is a gorgeous day and the field is in good shape, so a big thank you to everyone who contributed to get these guys back on the field as quickly as possible.
Thank you, Katie, for that. So something that we see a lot this summer is rain and bad weather, but we haven't quite seen weather like that. And that was a sight to see yesterday. It was right around like 11 o'clock. I remember looking through a window, and it looked almost like a hurricane, and I've got familiar experience with that.
It really did, and it happened Monday night, too, because we came back from Brewster after that long drive, and that's really when the storm started to come in. And that was when I was seeing trees breaking off of or branches breaking off of trees into the road. And then sure enough, it came back the next day around midday. I was working, and I looked out the window, same sort of thing. I mean, it was a monsoon out in Falmouth.
It was sideways rain. There were branches flapping everywhere. But we were luckier than most other teams out on the eastern part of the Cape. And just like that, as they always say, calm after the storm, as it has been calm and beautiful all day long into this evening, as the first pitch is an off speed to Zach Mathis, taken for strike 1 at the knees. The second baseman off to LSU come the fall, grounded out to short in his lone at bat. Pops this one up on the infield. Langworthy charging in from first. Nelson tosses the mask. He's called off by Moretto, and Steven Moretto will make the catch over on the foul side of the first base line.
Smart move. You see where that ball lands. You think, why doesn't the catcher have that ball? It's better for the person who's running, who has an angle on it. They can kind of tell the depth and have a better track. Because if you stand right under a fly ball, it can be tough to tell if it's moving or not. So Nelson gets called off. He immediately moves out of the way. And a nice heads-up play by Moretto.
Benjamin Sems will come up to the dish. Sems popped out to third base his last time up, so Steven Moretto has gotten a little bit of action, but none of them ground balls yet. First pitch to the lefty from Kansas is taken down and in. This lineup 5 through 9 has been held very quiet. They're now a collective 0 for 6. (1-0), line foul.
I remember you made this point about a team. I think it was about Wareham. You said they were a very top-heavy lineup.
Yes.
Yeah, I totally agree, and you can see it tonight. 4 hits, 5 base runners for Wareham, all of them hitters 1 through 4.
1-1, chopped over towards second. That's where Hayden Cantrell is, but he lets it go right through his glove. Couldn't ever get a proper angle on it. Looked like he was playing it off to his side, and that burns him. That's why the coaches tell you, never play the ball off to the side like that. It's an E4 and the third error of the evening against the Doors.
Something I noticed for the Commodores during that 6-game winning streak was they had really tightened up defensively. There were only a couple games where they had 1, maybe 2 errors, but nothing too egregious. And tonight, I mean, 3 errors in just a little over 3 innings is not what you want to do, especially on those routine ground balls from Cantrell. You know, the one from Aleman maybe a little bit more understandable as he had to run off the mound and try to throw it over to first immediately.
Sems was running on the pitch, but it was swung on and fouled by Matt Rudick to make it 0-1. Especially when it's hit towards the second baseman. I mean, if Hayden's at short, he might have to play it to the side like that just so he can make sure he can get the out. But when you're at second and you play it off your chest, you've still got a chance at the runner.
Right.
Instead, it is an error against Cantrell, who's really cut down on those this summer, especially compared to last year. 0-1 sits high to Rudick. He flew out to left in his lone AB.
Rudick has been one of the hotter bats on this team.
Oh, yeah.
Just a 3-game hitting streak, but it started versus Falmouth, and all of those games, a pair of hits each. 6 for his last 11.
He's been extremely consistent. Soft pickoff move over to first base as Sems jumps back in time. Matt Rudick, however, has not had an RBI in his last 4 games, so none of those 2-hit affairs scored a run. San Diego State Aztec facing a 1-1 count. Sems is running. No, he's not. Again, Nelson and I have been fooled.
That's good, though, because Nelson was ready. I mean, he probably would have
been out.
Sniped Sems at second base. Quick pop. It was on a high pitch anyways. But maybe that's one of the plays, fake steal.
Probably. I mean,
probably is.
They've got a very speedy team. This Wareham team is not very big. Sems is. But they have a ton of speed. Here's a slow roller over towards second. This time Cantrell comes away with it. Quick underhand flip onto first. Gets the runner just in the nick of time. Sems will advance to second base, but Rudick is retired for the second time.
Nice play by Cantrell. Makes up for the error. Smart play to also underhand that to Langworthy. Tries to overhand it, and he's at such close distance. Might have put a little bit too much on it. He knew where he was, what he needed to do to get the out. Made it happen. You made the point about how fast this Wareham team is. They are second in the Cape League in stolen bases behind just Falmouth.
And you look at some of the guys they have, Braden Ward, Matt McLean, Sems, Rudick, all those guys a couple inches under 6 feet.
Yeah.
But can really wreak some havoc on the base paths. First pitch to Chad Stevens. Breaking ball taken too far inside. 2 outs and a runner on second. There has been a runner in scoring position in every single inning for Wareham except for the second. That was the only inning where Franco Aleman did not allow a base runner. Stevens from Portland watches that pitch just glance off the outside black.
How about this stat, Danny? Braden Ward, who's stolen 2 bases tonight, has 40% of Wareham's steals.
Sheesh. He only had 1 stolen base in the last 5 games. I mean, that's got to mean that Wareham just wasn't, getting on base at all. 1-1, slider outside. Chad Stevens with Benjamin Sems and his speed on second base. Stevens a .268 average, 11 RBIs on the summer. He hasn't had an extra base hit since June 17th against these Falmouth Commodores. 2-1 inside. So pretty much all of his hits to bring his average above 260 have been singles. In that game, he hit a bases clearing double and went 2 for 4.
And that pitch was way inside from Aleman. Stevens didn't even move. He thought it was going to hit him. So did I, but it somehow dodged his arm.
The 3-1. Fastball that just gets the outside edge. Nelson doing a great job of getting those pitches called strikes. They look a little outside, but he's framing them well. Count now full to Chad Stevens, who grounded out to short back in the second. Sem stands on second. He reached thanks to an error. This inning would be over without that error. Aleman trying to avoid getting burned by it with the Doors trailing by a run. Here's the payoff pitch. Runner is going. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Another strikeout racked up for Franco Aleman. He now has 3 on the evening and will head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Wareham still leading 1-0 as they score no runs on no hits, 1 error, and strand a runner on base. We'll be right back on the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network.
Baseball Factory, a proud partner of the Cape League since 1994, holds over 1,000 events nationwide for players in both high school and middle school, including 3 training weeks here in the Cape. Baseball Factory alumni have played on every Division I college program across the nation, with thousands drafted and more than 500 who have made it to the majors. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness.
The Falmouth Commodores would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedom. In support of this program, the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. Support our troops and join us by wearing red each Friday.
Welcome back to Gov Fuller Field. As we enter the bottom of the 4th inning, it's still just 1-0 Wareham. It's been that way since the top of the 1st. Falmouth Commodores have not gotten a hit yet on this ball game. Brandon Fott will stay on the mound for Wareham, and Blake Dunn is going to lead off for the Doors, trying to break out of that trend that they're suffering in right now. It's been a while since we've seen them go multiple innings without a hit. Broken bat, flare shot over towards first, and Jacob Teeter will make the catch. Blake Dunn adding a whole new meaning to I don't even know. I don't know where I'm going with that, but that
He did destroy that bat.
Yeah, that bat is just gone. Absolutely.
That's got to be a fun run for the bat boy. You know, we see them go behind the backstop a lot. It's not often that they have to go sprint out onto the field to pick up, like, shards of pine or whatever the bats are made of.
Zach DeLoach, who tried to lay down a bunt but was thrown out by the catcher, now swings at the first pitch and pushes it sharply along the first base side, but foul.
I like what Falmouth is doing right now, though. They are adopting the strategy that Wareham had earlier in the game, which is swing at the first pitch. These Wareham pitchers are pounding the strike zone. Falmouth hasn't had much success against them. Cantrell, Dunn, DeLoach, all swinging at the first pitch.
Oh, 1-2 DeLoach. He lays off that one and takes it for a ball. Franco Aleman has struck out 3 gatemen. On the other hand, Falmouth has only struck out twice, so that's exactly what we're seeing, is they're swinging early, and therefore that's limiting the strikeouts. 1-1, just clips the inside corner and at the knees to DeLoach. A ball and 2 strikes to Zach, who was the team leader in batting average, but Austin Maisel has taken that crown. Zach batting .355 entering this one. The pitch. In and out of the glove of the catcher, Sims. Running down to first is DeLoach. Here's a high throw, and he's going to reach first base. Ball rolls into no man's land up the first base line, and Zach thought about heading to second, but trots back into first. So a strikeout, but a drop third strike means DeLoach is going to take the base.
You know how we've said that, you know, the last 3 matchups between Wareham and Falmouth feel like playoff games?
Yep.
This one does not. This one feels pretty sloppy. Falmouth with the 3 errors and then some weird, wacky plays. We saw a long pickoff by Franco Aleman to get Braden Ward. We saw Hayden Cantrell out on batter's interference, and then Deloach reaching on a weird K3. Or K2-3, I should say.
Trey Cruz watches a ball miss up and away, and Deloach had no idea. He started looking at his bat when he swung through it, thinking, how did I miss that fastball? And there was a whole chorus of go, go, go from the first base dugout that he didn't seem to register. 1-1 the count to Trey. Played in the All-Star game at third, but he's at shortstop tonight. Watches a fastball catch the knees, a ball and 2 strikes. Fott starting to paint the corners a little bit. Trey 2 for his last 7 after going 0 for 6 in the previous 2 ball games. The 1-2 down and in.
Cruz had that 8-game hitting streak, which is the longest that we've seen for a Commodore. He had that broken against Wareham, game number 2.
Here's the 2-2, up and away. Full count now to Trey Cruz. I don't have the official statistic, but Trey is a guy who does not seem to walk a lot. I feel like I'm always seeing him get on base with a hit. He struck out 5 times in his last 13 at-bats. Fott trying to make it 6. First he's going to try to pick off Deloach, and he just gets back in time. Zach a little hesitant on the quick snap throw from Fott, and he barely is under the tag from Teeter.
I really like Teeter at first base. He's always very heads up, animated. When Deloach was rounding first, thinking to go for second, he was flashing for the ball from right field.
3-2. Shot out into center field. Braden Ward trots back, and he will make the catch. Another fly out to center off the bat of Trey Cruz, and that's the second out of the 4th inning.
He's making hard contact against 2 different pitchers, working good at bats. But Braden Ward, he's like 2 outfielders out there.
Yeah. He's just a black hole in center field. You hit it anywhere between right center and left center, and he'll swallow it up sooner or later. Taylor Smith saw only 1 pitch from the starter Levi Prater. It hit him on the leg, and he took first base in his lone at-bat. First pitch to the DH from Grayson County College is pushed over towards first base. Teeter fields it himself and will step on the bag. 3 unassisted on your scorecards to retire the side. Falmouth held hitless yet again. They score no runs on no hits, no errors, and strand a runner on first base. On to the top of the 5th we go. Still 1-0.
Cape Cod Healthcare is the leading provider of healthcare services for residents and visitors of Cape Cod, with 2 acute hospitals and more than 450 physicians. For more information, please visit capecodhealth.org. Cape Cod Healthcare. Expert physicians, quality hospitals, superior care. For sales and rentals of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit MiltonCat.com, your area cat dealer. Milton Cat, the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud to be a sponsor of today's game.
Baseball Factory, which has proudly supported the Cape League for 20-plus seasons, conducts baseball trainings, tournaments, and showcases at over 1,000 events nationwide, providing players with world-class instruction and help with college recruiting. The Baseball Factory program leads to future success both on and off the field for players in both middle school and high school. It's never too early to start. Learn more at baseballfactory.com.
Welcome back into the Eric Palmer press box at Gov Fuller Field. Daniel Rose, David Korzenowski. David, tonight a very special night, a theme night. It is Shark Night at Gov Fuller Field. And if you were at this ball game, instead of tuning in to our lovely mugs on the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network, you could get this, the finest in torso apparel. That is the Falmouth Commodores shark-themed T-shirt.
You know what? I dig the theme. I really do. Falmouth, a Cape Town. Cape Cod shark numbers have been up an insane amount. I mean, I remember I would vacation on Cape Cod growing up, and you know, I feel old when I say, like, oh, back when I was, you know, a kid or back when I was vacationing. But the shark numbers have gone up so much that, like, some of the most frequented beaches historically on Cape Cod, people aren't even touching the water now.
Just stay off the vineyard. Adrian Del Castillo has now checked into the game for Drew Sims, and he swings at the first pitch down at the knees from Franco Aleman.
I realize that was a roundabout way of me saying that, I don't know, I feel like Shark Night's fitting for the Cape. It's kind of a cool theme. It's a cool shirt.
I thought that it was just going to be Baby Shark being played over the.
That's what I thought.
Over this thing,
Yeah.
the loudspeaker like 20 times, and I was going to hate myself. But instead, it's a little more Jaws themed. This shirt says, "We're going to need a bigger bat." Can you guess the movie?
I have no idea.
You don't know the movie?
I'm joking.
Yeah.
Jaws.
Jaws. A movie I have never seen.
That's still ridiculous.
I know. I've been meaning to watch it last summer and this summer because it happens on the Vineyard, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so I got to watch it and then just scare myself. 1-2 to Del Castillo. Checks his swing on a down and in pitch. He went around, says third base umpire Jason Klump. Adrian's going to jog down to first, but he's going to be thrown out by Matt Nelson. And the new catcher in the ballgame has struck out his first time up.
Kind of another weird play where there was a quick appeal down to third base and Nelson having to make the throw, but Aleman hitting his stride. Second time through the order, Wareham only got one hit. They had 3 base runners, but 2 of them were on errors. So he's really locked down.
Braden Ward now up to the dish. He's gotten on base both the times that he's come up to the plate. A single and an E1. First pitch to Ward is taken up and in for a ball. Ward, a Washington Husky originally from California, went 0 for 4 with a pair of strikeouts yesterday. Watches a strike. He was 2 for 15 versus the Commodores entering this game. So it seems like we've been calling his name a lot. He's played in all 4 games, but to this point, he hasn't really amounted for much until the first inning because he is the lone runner to cross home plate for either side. Fastball just misses the outside corner to make it 2 balls and 1 strike.
And I feel like this at-bat means a lot for Franco Aleman because Ward's been that pesky leadoff man who's reached first base twice on a bunt and an error.
2-1 breaking ball dives at the knees.
So I feel like this is an opportunity for Aleman to sort of, get back at him.
I don't know if you noticed, but when they got him in the rundown at third, he kind of like snatched the ball from Moretto and gave a little look over towards Ward. There's a little intensity. 2-2, high for ball 3.
Yeah, Aleman definitely a guy who gets a little bit more animated. We've seen some videos of him, after a strike 3 or, with a big strikeout. He can definitely get fired up.
Here's the 3-2. At the knees, strike 3 called. Went with a backdoor breaking ball. Ward thought it was ball 4. Instead, John Jordan punches him out. Back-to-back Ks to start off the 5th.
I think that's a really good spot right on the outside part of the plate. I thought it shaved the black. Thought that was a pretty good call by the home plate ump. But clearly Ward disagreed.
Maybe was a little bit low. Tough to tell from our vantage point being so high up. But again, Matt Nelson, such an effective catcher behind the plate with both the arm and the glove. He's been framing pitches all night long. First pitch from Aleman to McLean is tapped foul over towards the Wareham dugout. Also could be noted that these two guys probably have great chemistry as well. Aleman and Nelson, friends from back home in Tampa. Ended up going to 2 different schools in Florida, but lifelong friends playing against each other and with each other all throughout Little League. They've become roommates on the Cape. When Nelson showed up, Aleman is his roommate. And in just a couple of years, they will both be juniors at the fiercest of rivals in the Southeast, Florida and Florida State. Here's the 1-1 to McLean, way outside.
You're more familiar with this area of the country than I am, but you know how we always say baseball's a small world? Mm-hmm. Like, everyone knows everyone. I feel like Florida baseball is even smaller.
You wouldn't even know the half of it.
I believe it.
It is. The Miami players, every single one of them except for 3 are from Miami-Dade or Broward County, the 2 counties in South Florida, which is kind of wild to think that there's that much talent to field, just in those 2 counties. And a lot of those guys are still going off to other schools, and yet Miami's still able to field a team pretty much exclusively for Miami-Dade. And these guys have been playing college ball for a year, 2 years, and they're still, like, ragging on each other over, I struck you out back in sophomore year. Foul ball makes it another full count, this time to McLean. And it's pretty much the same way. I always like to break it down where, Miami has 1 guy from the Tampa area. Their other guy from not Miami-Dade is from Pennsylvania. The other guy's from Mississippi. And I think that's pretty crazy. I like to break it down. Miami gets all the Miami-Dade and Broward guys, the Southeast Florida. Tampa guys usually go to Florida State. Orlando guys usually go to University of Florida. Payoff pitch flown out towards right field. Ranging over is DeLoach. He will settle underneath it and make the catch. A 1-2-3 inning worked by Franco Aleman as Wareham still hanging on to that 1-0 lead, but Aleman has settled down quite a bit. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th inning on the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network.
Baseball Factory, a proud partner of the Cape League since 1994, holds over 1,000 events nationwide for players in both high school and middle school, including 3 training weeks here in the Cape. Baseball Factory alumni have played on every Division I college program across the nation, with thousands drafted and more than 500 who have made it to the majors. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness.
Redshirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedom. In support of this program, the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. Support our troops and join us by wearing red each Friday.
Cape Cod Healthcare is the leading provider of healthcare services for residents and visitors of Cape Cod, with 2 acute hospitals and more than 450 physicians. For more information, please visit capecodhealth.org. Cape Cod Healthcare, expert physicians, quality hospitals, superior care.
Welcome back to Gov Fuller Field as we begin the bottom of the 5th inning. And David, in the same vein as the conversation we were having that ended the top of the 5th, Austin Langworthy, a Florida Gator himself, will lead off for the Commodores against Brandon Fott. First pitch to the lefty, swung on and fouled back right in front of our camera.
You know, I don't want to beat it to death, but you see a lot of guys from California, but it's such a big state that some people know each other, but not everyone.
Yeah.
It seems like there's so many connections in Florida. It's really cool to watch.
0-1 to Langworthy, again fouled away. He's from Williston, Florida. That is a tiny, tiny town right near in between Gainesville and Ocala. A couple of other relatively small towns if you're thinking of Boston as or New York as your mainframe. 0-2 to Lang. Line drive into center field, but that one will cut right over towards short and into the glove of Benjamin Sems. Looked like a single off the bat, but tailed a little bit towards the left, and Sems was there. A lineout victim is Langworthy.
Pretty good spot, kind of nubbed it off the inside part of the bat. That's why it was able to hang up for Sems. Not a lot of ground balls in this game. Infield for Wareham has been relatively quiet. Or they haven't had to work, I should say.
First pitch, a strike to Steven Moretto. Moretto flew out to right field in his lone AB. Falmouth still no hits. Zeros through the first 4 innings. Check swing. Soft one over towards second. And an interesting barehanded play made by Zach Mathis. He was ready to field it with his glove. Took a bounce off the dirt right into his throwing hand. And he gets Moretto 2 up, 2 down in the 5th.
You know what we missed again until late? New first base coach. Troy Clonch.
Oh, my goodness.
We saw last game against Brewster. Austin Langworthy was the first base coach, and he was a riot. He was, you know, yucking it up with Zach DeLoach, anyone who made it to first. Ryan Eiley, traditional first base coach, has been over at third these past couple games. But Troy Clonch, one of the 3 catchers on this team, has been coaching first.
Have we not done our due diligence and asked where Brett Becker is?
I think he's just chilling, man.
1-0 breaking ball over the inside part of the plate to Matt Nelson.
Although, now that you mention it, I haven't seen him in a couple days.
He might be on, I don't know if he's
No,
on.
he was at Brewster, for sure.
Was he? I don't think so. Why wouldn't he be coaching the base then?
Right.
He's just chilling out, like you said. 1-1, floated into center field. This one is shallow, but Ward and all that speed. He'll be called off by Sems. A 1-2-3 inning again for Wareham pitching. Couple of pop-outs and a ground out, and that'll do it for the 5th inning as we head to the 6th. Still 1-0 Wareham.
The Falmouth Commodores would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedom. In support of this program, the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. Support our troops and join us by wearing red each Friday.
Baseball Factory, which has proudly supported the Cape League for 20-plus seasons, conducts baseball trainings, tournaments, and showcases at over 1,000 events nationwide, providing players with world-class instruction and help with college recruiting. The Baseball Factory program leads to future success both on and off the field for players in both middle school and high school. It's never too early to start. Learn more at baseballfactory.com.
Franco Aleman's day is done as we begin the top of inning number 6. Brent Brown is going to step in for Aleman, who went 5 innings strong, allowed 4 hits, 1 run. It was an earned run, so his first earned run of the summer, unfortunately, for Franco. And Brent Brown is going to take over, who's only seen action in 1 ball game so far.
Brown has been pretty solid in that 1 inning, though. He and Bradley Littleton, the 2 additions to Falmouth, late additions. And he pitched just a couple days ago. That was the game against Orleans.
Yeah, July 20th against Orleans in that 1 inning of work. Did record a strikeout and faced the minimum, so his ERA is at 0. Aleman, meanwhile, had 5 strikeouts in his work, so a pretty solid stat line for Franco. But again, he's on the hook for the loss right now thanks to 1 run that crossed home plate all the way back in the top of the 1st inning. So Brent Brown doing the reverse Franco Aleman. Aleman going to St. John's River State College, and Brent Brown coming from St. John's River. He'll be heading to Eckerd College come the fall. Jacob Teeter will lead off. It's going to be the heart of the order against the righty. His first pitch misses outside.
1-2-3 inning worked for Brown his last time out. He did have 1 strikeout, as you mentioned, against the Firebirds in that 3-1 win. That was win number 5 in the winning streak.
Wareham arguably a much better offensive club than Orleans. Nothing against the Firebirds, but definitely Wareham takes the cake if you're putting those 2 offenses against each other. Here's the 1-1 to the man who's 2 for 2 on the ball game. It's taken down and in for ball number 2. Swung on and missed. Went with a fastball pretty much right down the chute, and Teeter couldn't catch up to it.
Brown, another Florida guy. Venice, Florida.
Jacob Teeter from Melbourne, Florida. It's pretty much an all-Florida game on the Cape. The 2-2, breaking ball on the inside corner, strike 3. How about that for Brent Brown? First time Jacob Teeter goes down, it's with a backwards K, courtesy of the new pitcher.
It's a good sign for Falmouth hitters 1, 2, and 3. 0 for 3 in their 3rd time up. Aleman working a big 1-2-3 inning in the 5th. And now Brown coming on, showing no signs of shying away from Teeter, one of the best hitters on the Cape.
Here comes Dallas Beaver. First pitch to Beaver taken down and away. Beaver, as we mentioned, his first time up was a UCF Knight these past couple of years. Originally from Kissimmee, Florida. That's a suburb of Orlando, so played in his hometown before he'll be heading to Columbia in South Carolina. Chopper over to first base. Austin Langworthy fields it. Easy put out to make it 2 up, 2 down for Brown in the 6th.
Now batting, the second baseman from Louisiana State University.
So right now,
Number 11, Zach Mathis.
Wareham's last 10 batters without a hit, only 1 base runner in Benjamin Sems, who's on deck if Mathis can keep this inning going. Now it's up to the Falmouth bats to get going. They're still being no hit right now.
Yep, no hit through 5. Zach Mathis up to the plate. He's worked some pretty quick at-bats his first 2 times up. He's 0 for 2. Swings the first pitch again. It was a juicy one right down the middle, but he fouls it back. Mathis will be a transfer junior at LSU next spring, Came off a 2019 where he hit .351 at Delta, 10 home runs, 66 RBIs. Great statistics for the guy in JUCO. 0-1 in the all JUCO matchup is taken outside.
Mathis, after his great couple years at junior college, had some offers from other big schools as well. Texas Tech in the fold.
1-1 flown out towards left field. Maisel is ranging over to his right. He'll camp under it, and he'll make the catch. A 1-2-3 inning worked by Brant Brown. Back-to-back 1-2-3 innings against Wareham as they go down in order here in the 6th. And, David, it's been a pretty quiet game throughout the last couple of innings, as now in both the 5th and in the 6th, Wareham has been put down in order. Meanwhile, the Commodores, however, still without a hit in this ball game.
Yeah, they are, and I don't know, maybe someone has some insight on that.
Right. Let's send it over to our own Katie Florio to let us know.
Falmouth hitless after the first 5.5 innings of this game. What's been the message as far as adjustments that need to be made at the plate?
Well, the guys will talk with each other, which they always do. They do a great job of that. And hey, you got to give Wareham credit too to this point. I think they've made great pitches against us, and we haven't had a lot of good fortune with our at bats. But these kids have shown all summer long they're going to compete and keep giving us our best. So we'll see what happens the rest of the way.
It is July 24th, and Franco just gave up his first earned run of the summer. What can you say about his outing tonight?
Hey, he's had an amazing summer, and he's just pitched so well every time out, always giving us a chance to win, and he's done that again tonight.
Thank you, Coach. Guys.
Katie, thank you so much, and thank you to Coach Trundy for that in-game interview. So a lot of good things to say for Franco Aleman and for the Wareham pitching, and I think that's been the story of the game. Obviously, looking at a 1-0 score, it has been the pitching for both sides. That lone run that Wareham scored, that came all the way back in the first, so
right.
It's settled down significantly. First pitch of ball to Maisel. Austin Maisel recorded the final out of the 6th inning with a fly out. Now he'll be leading off the bottom half. Grounds one over towards second, but this will be reeled in by Mathis. A sidearm fling onto first base for the first out of the inning.
Maisel busting down the line on some good contact, but Fott, who's just kept dealing on the mound, he's showing no signs of slowing down. Thrown just 31 pitches in 3 1/3.
6 straight recorded out against the Doors for Fott. The only man to reach base against him reached on a drop third strike. That one misses low and rolls away. 1-0 the count to Cantrell. That's 11 of the last 12 Commodores have been retired. Cantrell batting lefty for the second time in this ball game. Here's the 1-0, and he takes an off-speed pitch on the inside part of the plate for a strike.
Coach Trundy mentioning how the players were talking to one another during these at-bats, trying to crack the code third time through the order.
It's the second time through the order against Fott. Those first 2 innings were worked by Levi Prater. He didn't allow a hit, allowed a base runner in each of the first 2 innings, then was quickly pulled. And now Fott, the reliever, has thrown more innings than the starter has. Hayden Cantrell came into this ball game 3 for his last 17. He's hit a little bit of a rough patch, included the All-Star game when he went 0 for 3. That All-Star game coached by Wareham's own Jerry Weinstein. Pop fly into shallow left field. This should be out number 2. Calling for it is Sems, and he will make the catch about 5 feet onto the outfield grass.
Now batting, the center fielder from Western Michigan University.
And I think the biggest thing with Falmouth is they're just not making hard contact.
Yeah.
Trey Cruz is the only guy who's flown out to the outfield. He had a couple hard hit balls, but that's been about it.
Seen a lot of slow rollers to the right side of the infield and a lot of pop outs. Blake Dunn had a pop out his last time up. That came in the 4th. First pitch to the Western Michigan Bronco, a fastball swung on and missed.
And I think Dunn, even though he's 0 for 2, is a guy who maybe could get this thing going. He's done it before against Wareham with that double last Tuesday.
0-1, a breaking ball that catches the outside part of the plate. Now 0-2 to Dunn. He's 0 for 2. Working on a 4-game hitting streak right now. Has 1 hit in each of his last 4 games played. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, strike 3 called. Another 1-2-3 inning worked by Brandon Fott, capped off by a looking strikeout against Blake Dunn. 6 innings of no-hit baseball for the Wareham pitching staff as we head to the top of the 7th. It's still 1-0 Gatemen on the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Please remember to recycle your empty bottles, cans, and all other recyclable materials. It takes only 6 recycled plastic bottles to make a new baseball cap.
Urgent care is now available at 4 Cape Cod Healthcare locations: Hyannis, Falmouth, Sandwich, and Harwich. Open after hours and weekends. Staffed by ER physicians. Expert care when you need it. Learn more at capecodhealth.org/urgentcare.
Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
Back in action from Gov Fuller Field, the top of the 7th about to get underway. We are now into the final third of this ball game, only an hour and a half in. Thanks in large part to both pitching staffs. It's been Franco Aleman and Brant Brown for Falmouth, limiting Wareham to only 1 run on 4 hits. And it has been Levi Prater and Brandon Fott for Wareham, limiting Falmouth to no runs on no hits.
Honestly, not much to add. Falmouth just has to get going offensively. I think that, you know, during the 6-game winning streak, it's tough to nitpick, right, because you're winning 6 games.
Right.
But I think the pitching staff largely carried the team.
Yeah.
And the, the bats came in certain games, like Falmouth scoring 5 and then 6 in back-to-back games against Wareham. But they need more than they've got tonight, that's for sure.
Fastball at the knees for a strike to Benjamin Sems. He's 0 for 2, reached his last time up in the 4th thanks to an error, but was stranded on 2nd. Wareham has been held hitless since only the 3rd inning. Here's a fly ball into left field. Moretto is chasing it, but he will run out of room as it lands among the fans.
Should get some popcorn or a drink while he's over there. Packed house tonight, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
It's awesome. It really is cool to see.
Is this really a Wednesday? It seems like a weekend.
You know, I think this might be. So 4th of July week, I think, is the biggest vacation week.
Yeah.
This has definitely been the second, if not the biggest vacation week we've seen, because everywhere around town really crowded. You know, Main Street's been hopping, and then tonight, it seems like a lot of families here in town.
Here's the 0-2. Ground ball foul. And that is so weird to me to think because I said it to you guys before the game. Today was like the best traffic day I've seen. There was like no traffic in the middle of town when I was leaving work, and I was shocked.
That is a little weird. I mean, I know I was on Main Street today, and it was bumping.
Yeah.
Like there were a lot of people out and about.
I love Main Street. It is, as the 0-2 is shot foul, it is the, Rob Kaufman's going to love me for this, it is the quintessential like summer town little neighborhood.
Yeah. No, it's really nice. A lot of restaurants, a lot of, Cape Cod T-shirt outlets like the Black Dog.
And it's just so family friendly, and everybody's kind of hanging out,
couple
having
ice
a good
cream
time.
spots.
Yeah, absolutely, having a good time right in the center of this nice little town. Foul ball as now Sems has worked 3 straight fouls and kept the count 0-2. Good at bat being worked by the Jayhawk, trying to get on base for Wareham, as they now have 8 retired in a row, dating back to the 4th inning. 0-2 yet again. Breaking ball on the outside corner. Strike 3 called. Sems pointing at the outside part of the plate, saying it fell in the right-hand batter's box, but it fell on the outside corner, according to John Jordan. A looking strikeout and Brown's second.
So I think later in this game we're seeing, the hitters with some more gripes for John Jordan. I don't know if the strike zone is expanding or hitters are taking more pitches, but Blake Dunn wasn't happy with a couple of the calls, as were the Falmouth Commodores, and then Sems to start off the top of the 7th.
That one looked good to me. It looked like it was a backdoor perfectly on the outside corner. First ball comes inside to Matt Rudick. One-0, high fastball that he swings right through. He's 0 for 2 so far, and the pace that this game is going at, he might lose out on his hit streak of every single game being worth 2 hits. The 1-1 from Brown, grounded right back to the mound. He will snag it and underhand flip onto first. 2 up, 2 down, and so far for the reliever at Eckerd College, he has retired the first 5 batters he has faced.
And he looks, as good as the rest of these Commodores pitchers. He's fitting right in. Staff has been so great the past week and a half, and he comes in and into the mix and is dealing.
Yeah, we harped on it in the pregame show, but the Falmouth staff over the last 7 days, which has covered about 5 of their 6 wins, an ERA at 2.04, an opposing average at 2.03, or other way around, 2.03 then 2.04. Regardless, they've been phenomenal, as the first pitch breaking ball to Chad Stevens is swung on and missed. He's got hits in 3 of his last 4, but no hits tonight, 0 for 2. With those 2 at-bats included, he is 3 for 10 versus the Commodores on the summer. Here's the 1-1 from Brown. Inside breaking ball called for a strike. He is really painting that side of the plate. Brown taking his time, lifts and fires from the windup. Foul ball loping all the way into that crowd up on the right field berm.
Brown averaged about a strikeout per inning when he was in his JUCO before transferring to Eckerd. Last summer he was in the Florida Collegiate League, as we mentioned, and he also had about the same pace, 37 Ks in 38 1/3 innings.
His 1-2. Fouled away again. So far, he's got 2 Ks in 2 innings and a chance to make it 3 if he can manage to set down Chad Stevens, who struck out once before, but that was against Franco Aleman. Aleman, we mentioned, pretty stellar 5 innings of 1-run baseball and 5 Ks on 4 hits, but he's still on the hook for the loss as long as this Doors offense is held stagnant. Here's the pitch. Pop up, that one ranging shallow outfield. Cantrell will call for it, and he will make the catch directly behind the second base bag and just onto the outfield grass. Another 1-2-3 inning worked by Falmouth pitching. That's now 3 straight times that they have retired the Wareham order in order. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th inning. It's stretch time in Falmouth.
Baseball Factory, which has proudly supported the Cape League for 20-plus seasons, conducts baseball trainings, tournaments, and showcases at over 1,000 events nationwide, providing players with world-class instruction and help with college recruiting. The Baseball Factory program leads to future success both on and off the field for players in both middle school and high school. It's never too early to start. Learn more at baseballfactory.com.
Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
For sales and rentals of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit MiltonCat.com, your area cat dealer. Milton Cat, the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud to be a sponsor of today's game.
David, right now we're in the booth.
Yep.
But we are revving the engines.
Yep. My car's right outside.
And we're sprinting downstairs, and we're about to hop in the little car, and we're going to drive around the Cape League.
You ready?
Let's see the scores.
3, 2, 1, let's go. Sneaky doubleheader. Orleans and Harwich.
Yep.
Game 1 started at 4 p.m. Harwich won 2-0 in a game that lasted just an hour and 41 minutes. Harwich winning 2-0 against the Firebirds. Chatham right now blanking Yarmouth Dennis. That's a battle for first place in the East Division. Anglers are up 5-0. A lot of shutouts right now around the Cape. Brewster blanking the Katuitt Kettleers 3-0. That score is final from Stony Brook Field.
First pitch swinging is Zach Deloach. He pops one up towards the third base side. And that will be another pop-out recorded for Wareham. Chad Stevens makes the catch in foul territory. While you go through the rest of these scores, I'm going to count how many pop-outs there have been for the Doors.
Wareham right now obviously on top of Falmouth 1-0. Hyannis and Bourne, beautiful day on the Cape, postponed. Durand Park infield was an absolute monstrosity today. Saw some videos, and it was like sludge. I don't know what is going on with that infield, but it is not good, that's for sure. So Hyannis and Bourne will have to make up that game. Game 2 between Orleans and Harwich, 6-2 lead for Orleans.
Trey Cruz now pops one up towards the third base side. This one a lot deeper and will go out of play, luckily for him and the Doors. He's 0 for 2, and he has 2 of the 3 flyouts into the outfield for Falmouth, both of them to center field, both of them well hit. Other than that, I counted a total of 5 pop-outs that were recorded by infielders, 6 if you want to count Matt Nelson's soft line drive that was caught by the shortstop. 0-2 to Cruz. Checks his swing. Foul tipped into the mitt, says John Jordan. Cruz is incredulous to that, but he's going to walk back to the dugout, a strikeout victim. 2 up, 2 down in the 7th.
Cruz with some tough luck at the plate tonight. Definitely a frustrating night for him. You know, he hasn't been bad, as we mentioned, those hard hit balls out to center field. And he was just, you know, beyond speechless at that call from John Jordan. He had a couple gripes with some of the umpires earlier this summer, like last time against Orleans when the scoreboard went out.
First pitch to Taylor Smith, taken down and in.
He said he was talking to the umpire during the at-bat, and he asked what the count was, and he never got a response. Because the scoreboard was busted out and left.
Umpires are supposed to be keeping count. Count now 2-0 to Smith. The Commodores just desperate for a base runner right now. They have not had a base runner since the 4th. That was when Deloach reached on a drop third strike. Other than that, the 3rd was 1-2-3, the 5th 1-2-3, the 6th 1-2-3, and now the 7th potentially. Fots 2-0. Ground ball up the middle. This is a slow roller. It will be fielded by Sems. The throw to first in time. Taylor Smith didn't get enough juice on the ground ball, and what looked like it could have been a single is instead a ground out to short. 1-2-3 go the Doors yet again here in the 7th, as we'll head to the top of the 8th, 1-0 Wareham on the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod Coca-Cola has been proudly refreshing the community for 30-plus years, and we're honored to support the CCBL and many other wonderful organizations on the Cape.
The Colossal Lobster Rolls are back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth for the best value for lobster rolls on the Cape. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedom. In support of this program, the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. Support our troops and join us by wearing red each Friday.
2 more innings to go, and the sun is still out. David, that is not even something we can say when we're at Stony Brook Field in Brewster, which starts their games at 5 p.m. This is one of the fastest moving games we've seen all summer. Normally that's called a broadcaster's dream, but not when the home broadcasters are seeing the home team getting no hit.
Yeah, no, it's been a... But here's the tough thing about games like this. It feels, stagnant. It feels like the game's over. It's a one-run game.
Right.
But it feels like so much more than that because they haven't had a base runner since the 4th. They've only had 3 base runners all night, and obviously no hits.
Adrian Del Castillo will lead off for Wareham, He has no hits himself, but only 1 at bat. He struck out swinging back in the 5th. It's been back-to-back 1-2-3 innings worked by Brant Brown as the pitchers have gone head-to-head in this one. Swing and a miss, 0-1 to Dell. Only one run has been scored. That came in the top of the first inning. This has been a brilliant pitcher's duel. So if you are a fan of pitching, this is the game for you. Here's a big drive into right field. Deloach is back, but he will be able to settle underneath this with room and make the catch for out number 1.
And those were the kind of outs that Brown was getting his first outing. They were hard-hit balls to the outfield. He left one over the plate for Del Castillo, a loud slap as that bat made contact with the ball, but Deloach under it, and he had a good run on it to get there in plenty of time.
Braden Ward will come up to the plate. He's now 1 for 3, struck out looking back in the 5th, but prior to then, he was a pest. Reached with a bunt, stole a base, scored his first time up, then his second time up, reached on an error, stole another base. 1-0 the count to the leadoff man. Braden has hit a little bit of a slump lately. 1-0. Cue shot over towards short, and that will be caught on a fly by Trey Cruz, as now Ward falls to 1 for 4. Mentioned how he was slumping just a week ago. His average was at 330. His average now has slumped below 300.
And I think one of the reasons this game is moving so quick is because there haven't been a ton of strikeouts.
That's true.
Falmouth has only struck out 5 times, Wareham 7. But again, these counts working very quickly, pitchers wasting no time.
First pitch to Matt McLean, taken low, ball 1. How about Brant Brown? He's faced 8 batters and he's retired them all. He has yet to allow a base runner through his 2 appearances for Falmouth yet. 1-0, taken for a strike on the outside part of the plate. McLean 0 for 3, struck out, grounded out, flew out. Pretty much done everything you can to get out 3 times except for strikeout. 1-1, beautiful slider at 74 miles an hour. Really took some speed off of it and got the strike call.
Brown pounding the strike zone as well. 32 pitches, 24 strikes.
Here's his 1-2. Just misses down and away. Couldn't get the swing from McLean. Matt, a UCLA Bruin with a batting average over 300 when he entered this ball game. Looking to get on base for Jacob Teeter. Teeter 2 for 3. The 2-2. Fouled back into the fence. "13 straight batters retired by Falmouth pitching. Wareham without a base runner since the 4th, without a hit since the 3rd.
Now 24 straight batters combined between these two teams retire.
Sheesh. 2-2, make it 25 after
Jeez.
the backdoor slider hits the inside corner for strike 3. How about Brant Brown? 3 strikeouts in 3 innings of work, 9 up, 9 down for the new guy. We'll head to a break. Bottom of the 8th coming your way right after this.
Baseball Factory, which has proudly supported the Cape League for 20-plus seasons, conducts baseball trainings, tournaments, and showcases at over 1,000 events nationwide, providing players with world-class instruction and help with college recruiting. The Baseball Factory program leads to future success both on and off the field for players in both middle school and high school. It's never too early to start. Learn more at baseballfactory.com.
The Falmouth Commodores would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official bat and glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
For sales and rentals of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit MiltonCat.com, your area cat dealer. Milton Cat, the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer.
Welcome into the broadcast booth for the bottom of the 8th inning, and me and David are joined in between us by Falmouth reliever Aiden Maldonado, who is guaranteed this is going to be the funniest interview we are going to have all summer.
Oh, yeah, boys. I just want to start off by calling out some people, to be honest here. I'm sort of mad. I've been here since June 10th. This is my first interview. I'm going to look the camera in the eyes. I'm just going to call out Haley and Katie for not giving me an interview. I've thrown 14 innings, and, it's all right. It's all right.
He's been pretty darn good in those 14 innings, too.
Yeah, I just show up to the field, trying to do my job, and getting no love right now from the media crew. But
you hear that ovation, a lot of love being given to your teammate Austin Langworthy, who has now broken up the no-hitter. He lines a single into right field off of Brandon Fott, and there it is, Falmouth's first hit of the ball game.
So Aiden Maldonado also clearly a good luck charm and breaking up a no-hitter.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, Lang's my guy, great guy, but I mean, I come in the booth and magic happens usually. So, I mean, they call me America's sweetheart, but
who calls you that?
Nobody. That's why they say after I say that, they say I have a face for radio because nobody sees me. So
I've gotten that joke a million times as well.
You're cute.
Thank you.
You look good. Thank you. Everybody up here looks amazing tonight, actually. It's a good night.
Yeah. Just like that, Jerry Weinstein has already made a trip out to the mound to talk to Fott, who's thrown 5 innings, allowed only the 1 hit, and he's having a long conversation.
I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
So this is different than a post-game interview with Katie Florio. Is it as good? Does this count? Do you feel like you've got that monkey off your back now?
I mean, yeah, I'm definitely going to send this interview to everyone I know because this is the spotlight I'm getting. But I do want to say, y'all said it was going to last 30 seconds. I'm letting you know it's going to be a while. I hope.
All right.
I hope.
Long inning.
Yeah, for sure.
We've had a couple guys up here. We've had a handful now. We had Franco a couple times.
I think it was Franco when Falmouth was playing Wareham and they were down like 5-1 at the time, or maybe it was the Hyannis game. I can't remember. One of those games where there was a huge comeback that was made. It was like 5 runs in 1 inning.
Yeah.
It was Franco up.
Franco was up here.
So I think that's the one to beat.
All right.
We'll see what you can do.
We'll see.
How did 50-50 go today?
It was good. There's a lot of beautiful people at the park today. It's a good night, and I'm sort of mad because everybody's making fun of my height if they want a wingspan. I'm 6 foot. I'm taller than the average American, but they all want
were
Franco.
People saying you're short?
Yeah, they all want Franco. I mean, Franco's ugly, man. Come on. I'm telling you right now.
He was also pitching today, so
But Franco also has a 6'6" wingspan.
Yeah,
so they can get more tickets.
Here's the thing. When I'm selling tickets, though, I say I got a wingspan, but they go, oh, you're not that tall, so your wingspan's not going to be good. I say, if you give me $10, I'm 7 foot today, actually. So they get extra tickets.
Bunt up the first base line from Steven Moretto gets the job done. The sacrifice that goes 1-3 advances Langworthy into scoring position, and the Doors are just about 180 feet away from tying this ball game up.
So we haven't talked much this summer. I've seen you on the mound, and this seems like a very different person. Do you keep this sort of personality when you go out onto the mound, or do you lock in?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I'm all jokes aside here, but when I get on the mound, I mean, you have to just have this edge to you a little bit.
Right.
You just can't go out and just – I mean, baseball's fun and all, but when it comes down to it, you got to be serious. And, everyone's a little different when they go on the mound. It's a different mentality you have to have. So.
Well, Aiden Maldonado is clearly the Grim Reaper as he comes into the broadcast booth, and already Brandon Fott has been taken out of this game. Weinstein heading to his pen. And I wanted to comment that you've been good enough to earn some interviews. I got to give you that. 2-1 record, 3.85 ERA. How about that strike number? 23 Ks over 14 innings of work and only 5 walks. Something that you struggled with a little bit at Illinois in the spring was your walk numbers. You had about a walk per inning pitch, and that has totally died down. What was the adjustment that you made to just be a whole new pitcher?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the thing is, I just come here, it's super laid back, love the coaching staff. Love the boys here. Shout out to the boys. They're beautiful. I love every single one of them. But, yeah, man, I was flying open a lot my freshman year. Didn't really have time to work on it a lot. I come here. Landry really took me under his wing. I'm a freshman, so I need to work on some things, obviously. And just sort of fine-tuning that and my mechanics, and everything sort of just fell into place, I guess. But
Talk more about the coaching staff.
Yeah, I mean, Landry's a beauty. He's my guy.
Everyone's beautiful, apparently.
Yeah, what's up with that? Now
that lessens to the compliment.
Exactly. I was just gonna say, you start with the compliment. You say I'm cute. I'm totally taken off guard.
I mean, okay.
But then you call everyone beautiful.
You ever seen Will Hawks?
Yeah.
He's ugly. Okay.
Putting people on blast.
Will Hawks, is ugly, but he's a great person. I mean, I love him to death. Who else? I already called Franco ugly. Franco's.
So people are either ugly or beautiful, basically.
Yeah, for sure. But most people are beautiful.
Okay.
God's creation, that kind of thing.
And Mike Landry is one of those people, partially because of his coaching.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy off the field, on the field. I mean, he really knows what he's talking about, and he could coach at any school, I think, in my opinion. He's awesome. So.
Well, Jason Ruffcorn is going to enter the ball game for Wareham with the potential tying run standing on second base, and Matt Nelson at the plate, who's 0 for 2 with a couple of pop-outs. First pitch to Nelson, ground ball towards short. They're going to go to third with it, and Langworthy is safe. Aiden Maldonado guaranteed it. Benjamin Sems went to Stevens at third, and Langworthy dives just underneath the tag.
I called it before he even threw it. I mean, look at the shortstop. Come on.
Is he ugly?
Yeah, he's ugly.
That was a gutsy play by Sems. Pretty good tag by the third baseman, Chad Stevens, but just a little bit late. Langworthy now 90 feet away.
Yeah, I'm sorry for stealing your thunder.
No, you're good. You're good.
I was just getting into it, you know.
That's something I like about having the players up here is that knee-jerk reaction, because you see things that we don't, just because of your knowledge as well as, I don't know, I think just your experience with the team.
All right, all due respect to Aiden. I don't know if that was knowledge and a knee-jerk reaction more than it was just guaranteeing that he wasn't going to get him out because he's, quote, ugly.
Fair enough.
No, it's my killer mentality. I know what's going to get called before it happens.
Strike pounds the inside corner to Austin Maisel, facing a 1-1 count. All the Doors need right now from Maisel is a fly ball to potentially tie this ball game up. Nelson reached on a fielder's choice.
We'll get it. I like Austin. He's cute.
1-1, fouled back into the fence.
Can you talk about this winning streak and what it's like, what it's been like the past week and a half?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, all the boys are coming together. You know, we're all doing our jobs that we need to, and we're winning ball games and having a lot of fun. I mean, this team is not a regular team. I mean, we're all a family, honestly. Like, you can fake that, you can say whatever, but I show up to the field and I love every single one of them. And I mean, I'll probably talk to them for the rest of my life, to be honest. So that's just the kind of team you need to win games. I mean, you look at it, 6-game win streak. I mean, we're down 1-0, but since I'm in the booth, we're gonna win. But I mean, man, the team's awesome, and literally I have no doubt in my mind that this playoff push is going to be amazing. So
that's something that we hear. We heard it last year from a lot of the players. We hear it this year from a lot of the players. Was that something you expected showing up to a summer league team, assuming I'm only going to be 44 games, if not a couple playoff games, and 2 months with these guys? Am I really going to make these lifelong bonds?
No, I mean, so I came in late. So I think the first practice was like the 6th or something. I came to 10th, but walk in. You know, I'm acting like a quiet guy. I'm really not, but just sitting there.
Breaking it in.
Yeah, you know, trying to break the ice or whatever, but everyone's coming up, introducing themselves, and that's just something you don't really see. I mean, that just really shows what kind of people they are. You know?
What do you attribute that to?
I don't know. I think it's just we're all here for the same common goal. Basically, like, you want to win games, but you're all trying to get better, and you got to communicate to each other, and you definitely learn tips from people that you never know before. So, I mean, I've had definitely a multitude of players help me with pitches, help me with mechanics, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that just builds friendship over time. I mean, that's all it is.
Austin Maisel working quite the at-bat with a 3-2 count. And runners on the corners, 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Ruffcorn kicks and deals the 3-2. Fly ball into left field. That one is tailing towards the line. McLean will make the catch in foul territory. Coming home with a game-tying run is Austin Langworthy. It's a sacrifice fly for Maisel.
That's how we do it. That's how it's done right there.
Loud applause from the fans here, as this has been a pretty good crowd. You got quite the 50-50 crowd.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to keep on talking about Franco. I'm sick of talking about him, but I mean, that man sells tickets like it's his job.
Fair enough.
And I'm just trying to go out there and compete against him, but shoot. Everybody's talking how small I am.
Matt Nelson just moved to second base.
Huh.
Why? Was that out of play? Did they rule that? That wouldn't have been. That would have been a dead ball.
Still 1 out. I mean, who's on the scoreboard? That's my question.
Langworthy just scored.
On a pop-up.
Not sure quite what happened. Hayden Cantrell takes ball 1. Umpire now telling us that there are 2 outs.
Yeah.
But still, Nelson advancing to second for reasons.
Who's on the scoreboard?
It's not us.
We got the 2 outs on there. We're good. It's all good.
You think of Hayden as a leader type, when with that team mentality of everybody being boys and stuff like that. Hayden seems like right in the middle of it, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, Hayden's the kind of guy that has no enemies. I mean, he walks in, he's got a great attitude every single day. He shows up to the field. I mean, carries himself very highly. And, I mean, he's been here for 2 years, and he definitely doesn't take it for granted. But
You're going to intentionally walk Cantrell after falling behind him 2-0.
Have you seen the frosted tips? Of course they're going to. Come on. Now you bring up Blake. He's got the beard of a 40-year-old.
He does have a great beard.
God, I just want to say something. I've been trying to grow a beard for the season, but God, it's just ugly. It just does not turn out good. I don't know why.
Blake looks like a Viking.
Oh, he's beautiful.
He does. He does look like a Viking.
And he's got a chance to knock in the go-ahead run. He will lay off the first pitch down and in. You're a freshman coming to the Cape. Are you expecting to be here next year?
I mean, I hope so. That'd be great. I haven't talked to anybody about that, but probably should get on that. Honestly, guys, Falmouth, I mean, if anybody's watching, Falmouth is the best place to go. There's no other place you want to be as a summer baseball. I mean, it's just a great experience. That's what I tell everyone.
I do want to go back to what you were talking about with the team and how close everyone gets. Because we've noticed, with other teams on the Cape, they're all here trying to get better and win games. But I feel like Falmouth, is special. It's got a different vibe. And as I wait for that pitch, which is inside now, a 3-0 count, I feel like a lot of it comes from Trundy, no?
Yeah, I mean, Trundy's a great guy, great coach. I mean, there's nothing else I can say about him.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it is. It's just the charisma of his head coaching. I mean, I don't know. I just walk up into the dugout and locker room every single day, and everybody loves each other. There's no enemies, which is really weird, to be honest. Usually you have the people that are thinking they're too good, that kind of thing, but egos aside, they're thrown out the window here. I mean, everyone's just for the common goal.
3-0 pitch from Roughcorn misses down and into Blake Dunn, so the Viking works a 4-pitch walk, and now Zach Deloach will come up to the plate with the bases juiced and 2 outs. Why uh-oh?
I'm just saying.
I know why. I know why uh-oh.
I don't need to explain. People at home know. Anyway, I just want to say, I thought this was going to be a quick one, but I'm loving it because we've had 2 mount appearances. I hope he takes him out so I get some more time to talk on the air. Again, because I've only had 1 interview.
This is like triple the time of a normal Katie Florio interview.
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful. I love you guys.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
I mean,
we specifically requested you, by the way.
I mean, that's a smart decision.
We've had Nick before. He was a good interview. We've had. Let's see if we can rattle him off. We've had Franco, Carmen, Nick.
You had Robbie.
Robbie
was my guy. He left me.
Robbie's sneaky.
He's
Sam Strickland.
Sam, yeah.
Any others?
Can't think of it. Usually it's like the same pitchers going out for 50-50.
Starter guys.
But luckily we've got a reliever who is out there for 50-50.
The cutest reliever there is.
There is a reliever warming in Tanner Bybee.
I mean, I'm calling it right now. Zach Deloach is going to get a ribby here. I mean, just look at that man.
He's good.
Deloach already with 17 ribbies on the year, and that's good for second on the team.
Yeah.
350-plus batting average for the big lefty from Texas A&M. 1-0 misses outside. How about you being at Illinois? They're putting together a pretty good baseball program, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, we had, I don't know what it was. I think it was the 25th ranked freshman class in the country. Great guys there. We lost a lot of talent this year, but we have another class under us that's good. So we're going to be a pretty young team. But
2-0 till Deloach misses low and away. 3-0 count now, and nowhere to put Zach.
Also important to note, Jason Roughcorn was on the bump in the 8th inning. Game 2 of that doubleheader, gave up that 2-run bomb to Barron Radcliffe, which ended up deciding the game. He was tabbed with the loss.
He's definitely welcome here.
Weinstein putting faith back in Roughcorn. Here's the pitch. Down and in for ball 4. Back-to-back 4-pitch walks brings home the go-ahead run.
That's the worst as a pitcher. I mean, there's nothing else that you want to do less. Oh, my God. Jerry Weinstein's walking out there.
He just made the call, I believe.
That's tough.
Walking 3 straight batters. Cantrell intentionally, Dunn and Deloach on just 4 pitches.
I'm loving my time up here.
Yeah.
That's not a happy coach, though. It's not what you want to see. Just not a good day for him. But
so you're getting a second pitching change now, as this has become a marathon inning for the Doors, and they've only got 1 hit on the inning. It was Langworthy who led off. Sacrifice bunt. We saw fielder's choice that Nelson got on. a sacrifice fly. There's been 2 outs for a long time now, and 3 straight walks, one of them intentionally, to put the Doors ahead 2-1.
Yeah, it all started when I walked in the booth.
Aiden, a little more on, as it looks like they might be making a double switch with Weinstein pulling out his little book. A little more on your school work and whatnot. You decided to go to Illinois, and I was intrigued by that because you're ranked as the #1 pitcher out of the state of Minnesota. You're originally from Minnesota. Good old Minnesota boy, and
Minnesota.
And you decided to spurn your hometown team, the Golden Gophers, who were coming off of a pretty incredible 2018. They made a nice run in the postseason and decided to go to Illinois. What went into that?
Yeah, I never got offered to go there. So
really?
Yeah. Hold on. My story. I mean, I would have liked to go to Minnesota. That would have been nice to stay home. But, I mean, I had a visit at Illinois, met Drew Dickinson, met Dan Harlow. Adam Chris was the main recruiter for me. Just sort of fell in love with the coaching staff. A big thing for me that I was always told was never pick a school by its colors. And so you can't be like, oh, I want to go to this school because they're this school, like that kind of thing. You got to pick who's going to make you better, who's going to invest the time into you to turn you out or to turn you into what you want to be, that kind of thing. So
can't believe that Minnesota would turn away their not ever offer the #1 pitcher from their home state, but you're trying to prove that they made a mistake.
Yeah, it's whatever. It's okay.
I think you're sitting pretty with Illinois. They've got a pretty good team, like you said, 25th recruiting class, and boy, that complex that you guys have that was newly built for the baseball team, or is it getting built?
Yeah, it's getting built. It should be done 2021, so.
That thing is beautiful.
Yeah.
I've seen some of the pictures.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Got some nice digs out there in Champaign. So the new pitcher is Bybee, as my partner mentioned. Coming on to
the home run?
No, Roughcorn, the guy who walked, the 2 batters did.
Yeah. So it's going to be Bybee to try to salvage this inning and potentially this game for Wareham, who have suddenly seen it slip away.
Yeah, this is a crazy game. 2-1, and kind of gives me vibes from Brewster as well because Falmouth scored all 4 of their runs in just 1 inning, and the Whitecaps pitcher struggled as well. But Falmouth wants more than a 1-run advantage for sure.
So you're a pretty good reliever. You come into this situation, bases loaded, and you just saw the lead get lost, and that's a really tricky situation to get into. What's your approach when you've got the bases loaded and you're throwing your first pitches of the ball game?
Well, so we got 2 outs. The approach has to be just throw strikes. I mean, you can't pitch around. I mean, Trey's a good hitter, but you just got to – the thing that I was always told was just throw it down the middle. I mean, hitting's super hard. I mean, hitting's one of the hardest things to do in sports, and just throw it down the middle and let them make contact. And for a good percentage, you're going to get either a pop-up or a ground out, what you want. But, I mean, you're taking a chance. But all you can do in this position is just throw strikes, which he's doing, obviously.
That's a fair point as they check down towards the third base umpire Klump. Trey did not go around 1-1. I like that point because, I mean, Trey Cruz, he's batting .330, which is very impressive,
yes.
and obviously that, will lead a lot of teams, and that's still failing, roughly 70% of the time.
Yeah, I mean, a big thing is you can't get too specific. I mean, you just gotta just challenge the batter. You just gotta throw it down the middle. That's basically all you gotta do in the situation. If he gets a hit, tip your cap. If he doesn't, then you win the battle. So that kind of thing.
2-1 now the count to Cruz. Cantrell is on third, Dunn on second, Deloach on first with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th inning. Here's the pitch. Flown out into center field. That one is shallow, trailing off towards left. Sems is underneath it, and he will make the catch to record the final out of the 8th inning. But it was an interesting 8th inning. Falmouth scores 2 runs on 1 hit, no errors, and strand 3 runners on base, scoring those runs thanks to a trio of walks. Aiden Maldonado, the good luck charm.
Yes, sir. That's how it's going to be done.
So we'll get you back up here in the booth next time we need a couple runs. How does that sound?
That's I like the sound of that. I'm just saying, I'm just going to put this out there. If I'm not doing 50-50 and I'm not down, or if I'm not going in, just call me up.
All right.
I love it up here.
Sounds good.
Thanks so much,
Thanks
Aiden.
for joining us.
Appreciate it. Can I give a couple call-outs?
Yeah,
shout
absolutely. Some people out.
My dad's
The Falmouth Commodores would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
For sales and rentals of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit MiltonCat.com, your area cat dealer. Milton Cat, the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud to be a sponsor of today's game.
Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
The Colossal Lobster Rolls are back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth for the best value for lobster rolls on the Cape. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
The Grim Reaper, Zach Brixey, will enter this ballgame as Johnny Cash rings out across Gov Fuller Field as Brixey, the closer for the Doors, looking to make it now 6 saves and cap off this come-from-behind victory for Falmouth as they lead 2-1 all of a sudden, and we're already in the 9th, 2 hours in. His first pitch is swung on and fouled away by Jacob Teeter.
Yeah, that was very sneaky. I think it was the fact that we had the player on later than we usually do, and the fact that this game seems to be going on so much quicker than it usually does. The 9th inning really sneak it up on us.
Here's the 0-1 from Brixey, taken a little outside by Teeter. Yeah, this game kind of flew by all the way along. I didn't really want to say anything because, you know, usually when you say something, all of a sudden it slows down, goes to a snail's pace. It got really slow in that 8th inning, but it was good news for Falmouth as they scored those 2 runs. Here's a strike on the outside part of the plate. Neither of them on RBI hits. We saw a sacrifice fly from Austin Maisel and a bases-loaded walk for Zach Deloach, his 18th RBI of the summer, potentially a game-winning one if Brixey can lock it down. The 1-2 to Teeter. Swung on and missed, strike 3. 82-mile-an-hour changeup, and that's the first out of the 9th.
And I was going to say it right before that pitch, but Teeter's probably, you know, the guy you're most nervous about coming up to the plate because he has 2 hits on the day. He's a singles machine who gets on base like it's his job. Then you got Dallas Beaver, and then the man making his debut after him.
Dallas Beaver 1 for 3, one of those 4 Wareham hits. First pitch to the lefty DH is taken for a strike on the outside part of the plate. A lot of off-speed pitches we're seeing from Brixey, pretty rare for a guy who pretty much dominates with the fastball. We have not seen a runner get on base in the maroon and blue for Wareham since the 4th. It has been excellent bullpen work from Falmouth, and that's something, again, we covered in the pregame show, is that, yeah, the starters have been great. Aleman was great in this one again, but it's been the bullpen that has come into these close games and locked pretty much everything down. 4 of those 6 games in the win streak. As a strike 3 on a fastball up and in gets Beaver. I was just saying 4 of the 6 games in the win streak, all within 2 runs, and now with the Gatemen down to their final out of chance for a 1-run win to make it 7 straight for Falmouth.
This is something Falmouth does really well, too. Not only is Brixey tied for the Cape League lead in saves, he has 5, but this team has 13 saves. That's first on the Cape, so they win close games more than any other team on Cape Cod.
That's something you're going to need to carry into the postseason. Falmouth trying to secure first place solely for the first time as Brixey throws a ball down low. They have been pretty much in 3rd place for the majority of the season because they have trailed everybody else in games played. But with the best winning percentage and least games played, they are right now tied for first at 39 points with Wareham. 1-0 from Brixey to Mathis, taken down and in for a ball. Also important, Katuitt lost today, so that keeps them firmly in 3rd.
Brixey, in 2 of his last 3 outings, has given up a solo home run. He gave up a solo home run against Orleans with 2 outs in the 9th, but you can't be thinking that now. You just got to pound the strike zone.
Here's the pitch. Misses upstairs for ball 3. That game against Orleans, he had a more comfortable lead. But obviously a solo home run, any run right now, would cause the game to get tied. Brixey only a 2.25 ERA over 8 innings of work. 3-0 to Mathis. He'll watch that one clip the knees. Zach is 0 for 3 on the day, has grounded out, popped out, and flown out. Zach Brixey struck out the first 2 batters swinging now with a 3-1 to Mathis. Another strike, and the Gatemen are down to their final strike.
Fastball right down the pipe here.
I like it. That's the Maldonado technique, and you know what? When you're Zach Brixey and can hit 100, why not? We'll see if he goes to it. 3-2 count. Top 9. 2-1 Falmouth lead. The pitch. Foul ball.
And it was that fastball. Nelson setting up a little bit outside to Mathis. But this is a guy who's still adjusting to wooden bats, right? He's 0 for 3 on the day, making his debut. There's no need to get too cute here.
Falmouth bullpen has retired 16 in a row. Brixey with a chance to make it 17 and get the win. The pitch. On the outside corner, strike 3 called. Zachary Brixey strikes out the side in the top of the 9th, and the Falmouth Commodores win their 7th straight in comeback fashion with a 2-1 victory over the Gatemen.
What a win. Commodores really, kind of got some luck. They got a few walks in the bottom of the 8th inning. That one scored the winning run, but Austin Langworthy getting on base with the single and then scoring. Doors have been outstanding.
The Doors have now won 7 straight games and 5 of 6 over the Wareham Gatemen. They are 5-0 over Wareham, which is huge to think about because this Gateman team, like we were just saying, neck and neck with Falmouth, right around first place in the division. Now they're down to second with Falmouth's latest win, but I mean, come on, they are dominating their divisional rival, who is, like I said, right on with them, and that is just huge for seeding.
Well, how about this? Last year, the Commodores in division won no more than 4 games against any team, right? They won 4 games against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, went 4-2. They haven't won 5 against a division opponent in over 2 years, and they're doing it against the team that's right below them.
Yeah. The Falmouth Commodores were held hitless through the first 7 innings of the ball game. Their first hit and only hit of this one came off the bat of Austin Langworthy to lead off the 8th. He came around to score on a sacrifice fly, and then it was Zach DeLoach coming up to the plate with the bases loaded and 2 outs in a 1-1 game in the bottom of the 8th inning. And just like that, he reached with a 4-pitch walk. Falmouth doing just barely a little bit to scrape away a victory. Not ideal, David, but again, it gets the job done.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there was only 1 hit, but they get base runners on, they work long counts, and the thing is, they stay in every game mentally, right? They're on the dugout, they're cheering, they're talking, like Coach Strundy said throughout the game.
We heard the ovations when they got the hit.
And that's just what they do. They are always locked in, trying to win every game, trying to steal it any way they can. 7 in a row now.
Finally, David, in a 2-1 game, which saw 5 hits collectively for both sides, you got to talk about pitching.
Oh, yeah.
Franco Aleman was stellar for Falmouth, letting up only the 1 run. But how about that bullpen?
Yeah, I mean, Brant Brown was great. He faced just 9 batters in 3 innings of work. He was perfect. Brixey comes out, strikes out the side, gets his 6th save of the year, 14th for the team. You can't ask for much more. Aleman gives up his first earned run, but that's like a footnote. I mean, that's not even a thought at this point. This pitching staff has been remarkable. In this 7-game winning streak, now just 8 earned runs.
Levi Prater got the start for Wareham. He only went 2 innings, allowed 2 base runners, struck out 2. And then it was Brandon Fott who was stellar. 5 1/3, allowed 1 run, 3 strikeouts, but Jason Ruffcorn, who allowed the game-winning run against the Doors just a couple days ago when Baron Radcliffe hit the go-ahead home run in extra innings out in Wareham for the 6-4 Falmouth victory. He gets tagged with the loss, going 1/3 of an inning, allowing an earned run and 2 walks. Meanwhile, getting the victory for the Doors is Brent Brown and his 3 scoreless innings of work. Zach Brixey strikes out the side of the 9th. He gets the save. his team leading 6th of the summer. The Falmouth Commodores win this one 2-1 over the Wareham Gatemen. Wareham scores 1 run on 4 hits, no errors. Falmouth 2 runs on 1 hit and 3 errors. So arguably the box score in favor of Wareham, but the Doors getting the victory, their 7th straight. That'll do it for this edition of Falmouth Commodores Baseball on the Falmouth Commodores Baseball Network. For our sideline reporter, Katie Florio, for my producer, Max Trink, my broadcast partner, David Korzenowski, I'm Daniel LaRose saying so long from Gov Fuller Field. We'll be back in action tomorrow at 6 p.m. Thanks for tuning in to this broadcast, and we'll see you soon.